Hello? Can anybody hear me? Hello?
Big Steve.
How are you?
Good, good. How are you this evening?
I'm doing well. I'm trying out a new mic. How are you?
I see. Good. How are you this evening?
I'm doing well. I'm trying out a new mic. How are you?
I see. Good. How are you this evening?
I'm doing well. I'm trying out a new mic. How are you?
I see. Good. How are you?
What's that echo?
Is that on my end?
I hope so. It's scary when you have a new configuration, so you never know what's going on.
Yeah, I got it. Is that better?
Yeah. How are you? Can you hear me?
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had I had the stream on, so it was echoing in the background.
Gotcha.
I had to mute it, but should be all good now.
Hey, talking to Freezy, we're gonna do the same format as yesterday. I took some notes. We'll go over Tibbs' comments, kick it around the panel, and go from there.
Sounds like a plan. I see they had a Randle up there today, which is interesting because, from my understanding, like I said, I think they only do 2 players a day for the press conferences, and I guess the reporters. What's going on, Nick G?
How y'all doing? Salute.
The troublemaker.
Hi, Ron.
Hey, what's up? What's going on, fellas?
How are you?
Man, I can't.
What's good, guys?
Hi, Joe.
What's up, Joe?
What's up, guys? How
Madden.
you doing?
Hey, man, I done got so addicted to being on here. I was looking for my notification. I didn't see that. I said, "Oh man, I'm starting to get withdrawals already."
Yeah. I see my man Raw, who Hebrew Remnick gave us a shout out on his video earlier today. He said he watched last night.
Okay. Yeah, I like that guy. He's very even keeled, knowledgeable.
Yeah.
He's
smart,
not.
dude.
One thing I like about him is he just really care about the blue and orange. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He ain't stuck on one player. You know, so I like that about him.
Yeah, no,
Absolutely.
He's a good dude. There's good videos.
I think last night was like being in a barbershop.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. It really did. It really did.
So,
I was
fellas,
cracking up, man.
I'd like to kick it off tonight for us. So I have some breaking news tonight. Uncle Freezy and Guillermo of Legion of Knicks podcast have collaborated on the Master Blaster ray gun. I don't know if you can see it. It has their logos and everything. It's in New York, New York's Knicks blue and orange, and it comes with their logos, and it's available on Amazon, Toys R Us, and other leading retail establishments. It has
Rob.
It has several.
Let's go, Rob.
Hey, Rob. So it has several custom settings. It has the God of Moses and Elijah mode. It just takes one time and you're numb for hours.
Does it do a spin move too?
You have the Teddy Flat Cincinnati chili mode that will make you burn on the inside, but the good news is you're still cool on the outside. You have the man round Cleveland OG mode that will light you up quick. Don't play with that mode unless you like pain. You have the Legion of Knicks Nigerian Nightmare mode, which will make you have an insatiable urge to purchase every Manchester United jersey that's ever been created. And scariest of all, you have an Uncle Freezy Don't Make Me Put on My Trucker Hat mode. It's one of the most devastating weapons of mass destruction known to man. Believe me, you don't want to mess with Uncle Freezy mode. But on a serious note, as Freezy says, sometimes the conversations get fiery and lit, and the people start talking over each other, and that really impacts the fan base experience and what they want to hear. Freezy's vision is that the Blow Orange Tiers home team advantage is that every voice is crystal clear and that we adhere to professional broadcast standards of not speaking over each other. We're going to rely on the best mods in the world, Sim and Bodega, for their feedback from the chat. So, panel, if you hear that Master Blaster, please stop immediately and resume one at a time. You don't want to ruin your flow. You want the passion. You want the respect. But we're here to provide the best product and listening experience for the Blow Orange Tiers Knicks at Night fan base and family. So, as always, please hit the like, subscribe, and reminder bell. So, let's get into the show.
Hey, look, Steven, I had a question.
Yep.
I thought about something that probably would just probably help that it happened last night. I just thought about it today. You think like the last 10 minutes of the show, since we always kind of forget to include the chat, like the back 10 minutes before the hour, we look into the chat and start answering their questions for about 10 minutes before we move on to the next hour?
Yeah,
we can always include them like that.
Yeah, Freezy's always talking about the community, and I think that's a great idea. So
absolutely, Rob.
So the first thing of business is Jacob Evans was waived and was the first casualty of training camp. So on to other news, I took the liberty of doing a transcript from Tom Thibodeau's training update. So just like yesterday, what I'd like to do is just read the question that was posed to him, Tibbs' answer, and then we'll go around the panel to get your thoughts. And I definitely think there's some hints at what Tibbs is saying and what we could see coming this season. So the first question up is, a few days ago, you mentioned how difficult it is for rookies to transition to the NBA without a summer league and fall practices, etc. With all that, do you expect it to be harder for Obi, Quickly, and Powell and others to contribute, at least early on in the season? And Tibbs' answer is, well, I think for all rookies, it's difficult. But what we have to do, and these are the circumstances that we're facing. Normally, the summer league is a dry run for training camp, so it gives the guys an idea what training camp looks like. In the summer league, they're not playing against NBA rotation players, so it's not a good example of the talent level that they will be facing. But the fall practices usually give them a good head start learning the offense and defense that we're going to run, and the strengths and weaknesses, tendencies of their teammates and the different players and teams in the leagues, and they're a lot differently. Normally for rookies, the first facing team season, there's some good and there's some, the second time usually gets a little better, and so on further down the road. I love our rookies. They're working hard, diligent, and they're doing all the right things. So I don't know if he answered the question, but let's maybe kick it off with the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Ron Cleveland. Ron, what's your thoughts?
I agree with Tibbs 100%. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
And I must say, Rob the Nick, I love that hat, man. I didn't get a chance to tell you last night. It was so fired up in here last night. I love that one you had on too. I'm gonna have to cop that.
All right, thanks.
But back to the question, man. I agree with Tibbs a whole lot. I mean, when you're coming into the league, offense is the easiest thing. You know, you pretty much when you first start playing basketball, most people learn how to shoot the ball. You know, defense is something that you learn when you get a little bit older. But coming into the league, especially with this year, there's no summer league. It's going to be an adjustment for these guys anyway. You know, but no summer league is going to be rough on them. So I agree with Tibbs. But I got faith in these guys, and that's why I really am happy that a lot of the guys that's on this team is coming from Kentucky. Because if one thing we know about the Kentucky program, they're well coached. And so that's my thoughts on that.
Joe, what's your thoughts? Joe?
Did he freeze?
Rob the Nick?
I pretty much missed some of the question. What was the basis?
That basically he's saying it's very difficult for rookies to, phase into the league, and he really didn't commit on Obi and the other cost of it's a different game, different level.
Well, the thing about that is this here. At the end of the day, we only have two rookies, really, you know, we got Obi and we got Quickly. So everybody else is just young players as far as I'm concerned. So they should be able to catch on in the ones that's already got a year or two up under their belt. I think they can help them along. But in Kobe's and Obi's instant, his age provides something. I think the first thing with him is just catching up with the speed of the game, and he'll be all right from there. So I understood what he said, though, but I look at the team as not all being rookies. You know, we got second, third year, even Franks is in his fourth year. So as far as that's concerned, I think we can move in a positive direction with just that. He's really basically talking about two players. So it's all good.
Yeah, but also when you have young players that have had several coaches and a new coach, it is being like a rookie all over again.
I wouldn't say that because you still have to go around the lead and watch
That's
everybody
true.
else.
Yeah.
That was a good point, though, Rob.
Joe, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with Rob. It's not all rookies. Like, I think Quickly and Obi, it takes some time to get used to the speed of the game, but I don't think they should have a problem with it. I see them as very hard workers, so I think, and quick learners, so I think they could get up to it very fast. As Rob said, yeah, the rest of the team is all like second, third, and fourth year guys, so it shouldn't be too big of a deal for them.
Guillermo, any thoughts? I don't know if you whether you heard the intro, the first question that was posed to Tibbs today.
So what was the first question? I think I heard some. I just want you to say it again.
Yeah, just a few days ago, you mentioned how difficult it is for rookies to transition to the NBA without a summer league and fall practices. With all that, do you expect it to be harder for Obi, Quickly, Pal, and others to contribute early?
Well, I just want to confirm that, basically, that's what I was hinting at yesterday. He's going to rely on the veterans because some of these guys have come from situations where they had the experience, where they play in different sets, different offensive systems, where they can pick up things a little bit quicker than younger guys who played on a Knicks team that has not had good coaching, like you guys have said. And Thibodeau seems to be kind of intimating that, yeah, it's going to be hard in a shorter offseason, shorter, preseason, whatever, right, for some of these guys to pick it up. So, yeah, I just want to say I was right yesterday, but
No, you wasn't.
yes, I was, because he's
Young players and rookies are two different things.
But you're not listening to what I'm saying.
specified
It's my turn to go. It's my turn to go. It's anything. It's my turn to go. So, essentially, you guys said yesterday, Knox and all these younger players did not have coaching, correct? They didn't play on the team that, and basically any guidance from the front office, anything, right? So with that in mind, with the fact that I'm talking about the younger guys in the Knicks, right? Or the young guys, not necessarily rookies, whatever. Young guys, right? Those young guys are more likely than not to not have as much experience as a guy like Austin Rivers, Alec Burke, like Nerlens Noel. So again, Thibodeau, not to say he's not guys if they can produce or get up to the system quick enough, but if they can't, he's going to rely on his veterans to establish the system. It's not a diss to anybody. It's not a diss to not someone not to have the mental acuity to get a system down pat. But if they can't get it quick enough in a quickened NBA offseason or preseason, whatever the hell you want to call it, he's going to depend on his veterans. How's that not logical?
Gotcha.
Steve, can you read their response again?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Well, this is Tibbs' response. Well, I think for all rookies, it's difficult. Normally, the summer league is a dry run.
Hold that thought, Steve.
Okay.
He said difficult. He didn't say it was impossible, right?
Did I say impossible, bro?
I'm just asking Steve.
Wait, hold on. There's a context whenever I talk. When the hell did I say it's impossible? I literally I literally just said.
Hey, I just asking Steve. You real tight, man. You real tight, Guillermo. All I asked Steve to do was like I said last night, attention to detail. We paying attention to detail. The man didn't say it was impossible, but you making it sound like it's impossible because these guys are young and rookies.
Steven, hold up. Steven, listen. Can I ask Steven this? Did I just say if the younger guys, right, if they can't get it quick enough, he's going to the I did say that, right? I said it twice when I spoke. You're not listening to details, Ronald. So take the advice yourself. I literally just said if the younger guys can't get it, he's going to depend on veterans to establish the basis. I said that. It's the first time I'm saying it. Listen to the details. details. What's the details?
Remember, you look like you come on to argue, man. I don't like all that arguing, man.
If you don't
Hey, say what you got to say, and we move on to somebody else. All that extra, but you was right yesterday. That ain't even necessary, man. We on a new day. We on a new day, man. We don't live in the past.
Once
he's wrong, he's trying to take it back. I'm trying to make jokes.
Yeah, I can admit when I'm wrong, but you can't. I still love you, though. I still love you, though, man.
hey, let's
Hey,
go
we
around
have
the
to
horn.
agree.
Let's go to Kevin, the man with the velvety voice, man. What you think, Kev?
This now, from what I understood, and I want to clarify something. A veteran is anyone. It's like with more than 1 year. So technically, R.J. Barrett is a veteran in the league.
True.
Kevin Knox is a veteran in the league. So to say he's going to lean on the veterans, because Thibodeau specifically said the rookies, which only means Obi and Quickly. So you can't sit here and say, oh, he only going to mean Burks and Bullets and Randle and Noel. No, because technically RJ is a vet, Kevin Knox is a vet, Frank is a vet, DSJ is a vet. So you can't sit here and say that those players, because they are younger than Burks, Bullock, Noel, Randle,
Somebody's echoing.
Somebody's echoing.
Yeah.
I don't think that's me. I think I turned off my. Oh, I have an echo. Hold on. I thought I turned
Yeah, it
off.
is you. It is you, Guillermo.
What the hell? Where's it from? Oh crap! My bad, y'all. Hold on.
Attack of the ODS.
Sorry about that.
That doesn't mean like okay. Let's say a player who played under Mike D'Antoni then went to go play under Coach Pop. They could have been in the league 10 years, but that'll be an adjustment because they went to a new system. Anytime any player goes to a new system, it's going to be an adjustment. Just because you've been playing 2 years or 10 years, it's going to be an adjustment. And it's up to that particular player to pick it up. And to sit here and say that because you're younger or older is unfair to those particular players. And in context, because they had bad coaching, does not mean that they are bad learners. Those are two different things. You can be as smart as a whip in school, but your teacher ain't teaching you nothing. That doesn't mean that you can't pick up what the teacher is teaching you because they're teaching you bad information. So if you have a good teacher that teaches you good information and you are already a smart person, then there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to excel.
Nick, Kevin, right? So again, when you talk about veteran, because you're trying to play semantics with the veteran thing, right?
It's not semantics because you said
you guys literally sat here yesterday talking about how you've got. Am I still echoing? My bad. Am I still echoing, guys?
No, you're good. You're better.
I'm here to echo from someone else, so it's not. I don't think it's me. Let me know if I'm echoing, guys. I hear something, but what the hell is that? Hold on, I'll come back. I still echoing. Hold on.
But
Kevin, I was gonna say, keep going, bro.
Oh, that's not me. That's not me. I just heard it when I muted myself. Someone is playing the video or something in the background. Yeah. So okay, sorry. So you guys literally just sat here for how many minutes yesterday and talked about how these guys have not gotten experience, right? Again, context, right? When I'm talking about the young guys and comparing them to your veterans, whatever, I'm not saying rookies, whatever, right? So I'm obviously RJ Barrett, Knox, whoever you want to use that have been here for a few years, 1 year, 2 years, right? They're not going to have the experience that guys like Austin Rivers has had playing on 2 playoff teams. I'm going to the Clippers.
I give you that, Guillermo.
The Houston Rockets, right? And I still hear echo.
I was about to say, I still hear echo. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know who it is, but
I'm gonna mute myself. I'll let you guys know. Let me see. I don't think it's me, man. But I'm
to that point. Now, here's the thing. Now, if we were talking about this team, see, I think it is Guillermo because the echo's gone.
It is,
now.
yeah. The echo's gone now. Guillermo, it was you, bro.
Try unplugging and plugging back up.
Myself,
Mike.
tell me if it's me.
Who's that?
Nick, you want to? Kevin, did you finish up?
Oh, but I guess to say that is, if this was talking about this team is about to go into the playoffs and the playoff experience of Austin Rivers or Noel will help, that's different. But this is just a team going into the regular season. So that's not saying, okay, this is RJ and Knox about to go into that first postseason, so they don't have any postseason experience.
No, but again, because these guys have come from winning,
that the postseason
these
and
guys have
regular
come from
season are two
winning.
different seasons.
These guys have come from environments that have had systems utilized and initiate on a more successful level than the Knicks, right? We can all agree the Knicks have been god awful terrible. Our basketball has been god awful terrible, right? You're talking about guys. Forget the play. I'm not just saying the playoffs, right? But they come from places where they've been more complicated relative to the Knicks systems that have been implemented successfully. And Austin Rivers, all these guys have had some kind of modicum of success wherever they've been, right? Relatively speaking, right? They're going to get compared to the younger guys on our team, and that's not to say that RJ, it's not to say that Knox won't be able to get it. If they get it, great. They could play whatever. If they beat out the guys, head to head, whatever. But if you're comparing someone who's had some success on the bigger stage compared to our guys, they just don't match. It's not saying one is dumber than the other, but one has been able to implement it in whatever time they've had. Austin Rivers played a decent piece on the Houston Rockets, had some effect on the Clippers. He's probably going to understand more offensive play calling that may come the way of Tibbs. I don't know. I'm just saying it may be. But he may be able to understand concept a lot quicker than young guys on our team who really have not been exposed to it successfully throughout terrible coaches in front office. It's not saying Knox is dumb. It's just it is what it is. That's why these guys mostly get veterans. We were literally the same. All these guys from NBK, y'all all talking about, we need to get veteran leadership, or we need to get veterans on our team. We need to get Jared, Jack, Nick. Why would we need to get those guys if all the young guys are smart enough, like you guys are saying, to understand these concepts? It's to get somebody to implement it on the floor, to get somebody to mentor and to lead these guys and be able to relate to them. All right, whoa. Yeah, we learned this in the what's the name, but you have to be here. You have to be in this spot. You have to be. That's why all of us love Jared Jack. We love Jason Kidd when he was here. We talk about Melo all the time. Melo didn't have any help until he got an older Jason Kidd, but Jason Kidd in that 1 year showed his value. And you guys
I wish we could have had him 3 years sooner.
Why is that okay? But why is that any different now? That's what happens with many.
Can I say something? Can I say something?
Go ahead, Rob.
Only thing now, look, we looking at it. I look at it like we're looking at it two different ways, because I look at it like this here. Even though we have bad coaching, but if you're on an NBA team and you're going around the league for 82 games, you're not just learning from your team. You're learning from what other teams that you see other teams practicing and what they're doing. And the things that you're still picking up knowledge, even though the knowledge that you're picking up, you might not be using it in your own program. So I think that separates the rookie class, and anything else. Just being in the league is a step up, especially if you're in the league 3-4 years. So when you're talking about who's going to learn from the rookie, some of these players never played or coached under Thibodeau. So they got to learn the same thing that Kevin Knox and them are learning. And basketball and defensive, you know what I'm saying? It's not like the fundamental part of it is not that hard. Now, if they have different schemes and things like that you may need to learn, that's different. They all got to pick that up. But on the end, I'm saying as though Kevin Knox and just say, for instance, Alec Burke right now, they should be able to learn and cover the same things under Tibbs, being that neither one of them played for him.
So then why have a coach? What's the point of having a coach? If the league exists and these guys are always learning, that's such a
reach. The one teaching the schemes.
But that's a reach, though, that because you're in the league, you expect everybody to keep growing. And it doesn't happen. There's so much more failure in the league, and partially because guys.
But not from watching.
Hold up. But then why are we clear? Okay, but then you guys have made the point I was making yesterday. Thank you. You just put yourself in a hole. If these guys are learning so much from just being in the league, why the hell were you guys making excuses for Kevin Knox, Frank, and DSJ for not getting proper coaching and leadership? If just being in the league itself
I
You should be
said
able to soak up all that information and knowledge, right?
I said pick up certain things. I didn't say learn. You're gonna learn from your coach. I said you're gonna pick up. GM, if we all in the same room,
what is the difference between picking up and learning something in a basketball sense? If I learn a triangle, right? What's the difference between me learning a triangle and me picking up the triangle? It's the same damn thing. They're basically synonyms in basketball. You're picking up something, you're learning something. You don't pick up something.
Yeah, but sometimes
you have it for 3 days and your brain throws it out.
You're not the one teaching it, but you're learning it just from being in the game.
Okay, and then you implement that to become a better player, right? So if that's the case, then stop making excuses for Knox, DSJ, and Frank. If they should be able to pick up stuff so quickly just by being in the league, you shouldn't be crying that not
everything. Not literally everything. A coach can teach you something. Not literally everything they're gonna pick up.
I want to ask a question.
One day they're smart enough, one day they're not.
Shout out to Sharon in the chat. Sharon said, "Coach is like a good parent. They guide and direct."
I want to ask Gamma a question because this will, I think, add a lot. Do you think the front office and the coaching staff wants these kids to succeed? Do you think they want them to take the reins?
I'm sorry. You said do
you think the front office says, if we give them the proper tutelage, RJ, Knox, DSJ, Obi, we're going to give them the best developmental staff that we can possibly give them. We're going to give them a teacher as a head coach. Does that say to you, with the coaching staff that they have in place, that they want these kids to take the reins?
You don't never know.
Whether in the beginning or sometime in the season, they want these kids to take the reins. That we're giving you everything that we can give you.
Do I feel like coaches, I mean, you don't hire a bunch of developmental coaches, right, to basically only coach veterans, right? They want these
now, hold on now. Since you said that, because you said they brought in these veterans to implement the system.
If the younger guys cannot get it, right? I've said this.
But again, exactly. If they can't get it. Now, there's a reason why these veterans are only signed to 1-year deals. Because I think this front office has put their eggs in, okay, we got you competition at some, I guess he's journeyman at competition, but we've given you the staff. Like Kevin Knox said yesterday, the organization is behind him. He said that. He feels that way. Like he's talked to the coaches the entire summer. The organization is behind him. That means the organization says, Kevin Knox, we believe in you. We believe that you can take these steps. But yes, it is up to you, Kevin Knox, to take the steps. We can't walk for you. You have to do it. We can give you all, we've given you everything that we can give you for you to put it together.
Okay.
Now, it's unfair to say we don't know, because we don't, I mean, yes, it's true. It's fair to say we don't know if he is, but the New York Knicks organization for the first time in I don't even know how long has said we're going to invest in our own players. Mm-hmm. Now, yes, you're going to bring in veterans. Every team is going to bring in veterans. You're not going to have a team full of 3rd or 4th year players. So, of course, you're going to bring in veterans to complement the young players that you have.
You think
I think that's all it is. It's just complementary players.
But Thibodeau's biggest success was in Chicago, right?
I mean, yeah, that's where he as a head coach, yes.
And I'm just saying, right? And he had the triangle. He was running things. Like, do you think he just brought in veterans? Because again, since we're going by what people are saying, right? You think a guy like Austin Rivers is going to come to the again? This from Austin Rivers' mouth. He said that. I'm forgetting exactly. I'm paraphrasing, right? He said something to the effect that I came to New York because they gave me. It was a different opportunity. He talked about opportunity, right? Everywhere he's been somewhat of like a role player, starter here, spot starter, whatever, right? You know, but he's talking about opportunity. You think that's opportunity to automatically start behind Frank Ntilikina or DSJ, whichever point guard? No, it's the opportunity to start, right? So again, it's a competition, right? He could have probably gone to another place. His father was saying, hey, go to New York. Because again, you go to the 76ers, he might run into that same trouble where now there's a conflict of interest. The father probably feels pressure to start him. The organization is like, nah, we don't need you to start him. And his father's like, yo, go to the Knicks. Why do you think his father would tell him that? And why do you think that the opportunity, why would he mention opportunity? To do what? That would be
I'm not going to sit here and say that Austin Rivers is better than Seth Curry because I'm pretty sure they're probably equal.
Okay, but again, he's talking about opportunity. So it's not opportunity to play because he could have went to the semi. He could have went to another team and just played. It's the opportunity to what? Start. So
Could he have it? Hold on. I just like saying,
one second. Let's get Nick in there on this. Nick, let's have Nick have a chance.
Nick. It's like where to start. You all went down this rabbit hole of, and I promised Freezy I wasn't going to curse. So, one, Fizdale was a tape guy. He did try to teach people. Everyone is like trying to dismiss that. Like there was some type of development under Fizdale. Let's start with that. Just by being when Fizdale teach basketball concepts properly to me, based on what I saw, but I felt like he did try to teach guys the way he learned or the way he knows, which is he's a tape guy. Just tape, and after every loss, you always heard, I gotta watch the tape. I gotta watch it. Coming to Tom Thibodeau. Thibodeau is also a tape guy, but he's also a teacher. He knows many offenses. He knows many ways to teach young players. I think something y'all are dismissing is chemistry. When it comes to the triangle, I played it in high school. When it comes to Princeton, those are sets and also motion offense. Those are sets that you can play with your high schools. When it comes to what is going on specific with what we have right now, we have a lack of talent, and you guys are just dismissing the fact that like it's the coach. You're blaming the coach or the player when it's actually both. Like Frank was put in situations that was uncomfortable for him to learn stuff that he needs to develop to become a good basketball player. He's just not a point guard.
Someone's talking in the back. Can someone mute themselves?
Hey, Ron and Rob, you got to mute your things when you're not on. Thank you.
But like, you gotta understand, like, we just keep on bringing in all this stuff. Like, it's this person, it's that person, when it's actually all of them. The player has to learn and also do the work. The coach has to be the right type to teach these guys. Like, they probably would have been successful with a more veteran team instead of a young team. But we thought that he would have been good because what he did in Memphis was he took a pretty much G League team to the playoffs while all of us were hurt. But they had something established. So we have nothing established but 6 months of Mike Miller. Mike Miller was a coach under Van Gundy. He's been for Team USA, et cetera, et cetera. There's a lot that we could pick up from just the Mike Miller era into what's going on right now. And some of these players have chemistry with each other, which is going to help. The guys that it affects the most, yes, it is Emmanuel Quickley and also Obi Toppin. But at the same time, Obi Toppin played in a pro-style offense. Cal makes guys uncomfortable. So they came from good backgrounds and they have a lot of teaching with them. Quickley is a 2-year player. He's not just a one and done. Obi Toppin is a 4-year player, not just a one and done. So you can't just apply the role of rookie or young player because they did also play in good programs with pro-style offenses, and also they did more than just what you're saying as It's just this one thing, or it's that one thing. It's everything.
Okay. Hey, Joe, you had something to say?
Yeah. Well, when Guillermo was talking about Austin Rivers, about saying Austin Rivers just wants to come in and start. Austin Rivers said in his interview that he couldn't turn on the because he came in to take the opportunity.
Somebody watching the wrestlers.
Come on, fellas.
Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, he was saying about Austin Rivers coming in just to start. Yeah, he's probably looking to start for fighting job. But he also said in his interview he wanted to take the opportunity to come to New York and build something. And that means within the young guys. He said he didn't care if he wants to start or come off the bench, that he wants to come in and help the young guys grow. So he's not just here. He's not just here egging his starting. Yeah, I'm sure he'd like to start. Like every player wants to start. But he wants to build something in New York. That's what he said.
You heard when he said, and you heard him stutter when he paused when he said I don't care if I want to start, right? Like, why are we doing this? Like, we know the guy ain't coming here. Not to say he's going to be a malcontent on the bench. So why we take away context from try to make a point? Like, dog, the guy ain't coming here. Be comfortable just being a backup. If that means that they're going to just give a bunch of minutes to a youngest, I'm not saying that they're going to. If they are not good, he's going to be fine with that happening. What the hell? I just hear this.
I know, man.
That's not me, man.
Yeah.
That can't be me. I don't have the.
Okay, I'm gonna be. Tell me if it.
Hold on. This can't be me, man.
In the interim, while Guillermo's doing that, everyone please hit that like button, hit that subscribe, hit that reminder bell.
Yeah.
Let's support Freezy as much as possible, please.
Yo.
That's better.
And I didn't even do anything. All right, somebody must have had that. I don't know. Yeah, I just don't see. It's not to say Austin Rivers is going to be a malcontent, whatever. But we think that this is this huge development thing. I think there's development, but it's like advanced AP, right? You know, it's we're going to develop you, learn, blah blah, become a better student of the game. But if that doesn't happen or doesn't happen quick enough, I mean, guys, we're not going to stay here another 2-3 years waiting for you to give me a base level of production. I just don't see that with Tibbs. That's not to say Tibbs is an a-hole. He's going to be like, all right, man, I gave you 10 games and you sucked. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I just feel like with some of these guys, we have this fantasy about, oh, man, if. Everything that we say right now with a lot of these guys is if.
Yeah.
If. Come on, man.
Like, because none of us really know.
It's really if for the whole team when you think about it, because it's a whole new team.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm talking. I'm not talking about the whole team. I'm talking about the guys that you guys have been saying. And I agree, it's everybody. I even said RJ Barrett. If they find somebody better than RJ Barrett and RJ Barrett doesn't fit in the team, and it makes the team better, okay, I'm not against that. As long as the team is getting better. I don't care about this guy put up numbers on a team that's the worst team in the NBA.
This is my set on it. As far as like the team is concerned, I look at it like this here. I feel as though management knows that these young guys didn't have an official chance. And I think that this year they're going to give it to them regardless. They're going to give them their chance to prove they got 1 year. I think this is what management is doing. That's why they picked the team.
But you know the chance is though, right? The chance means you got to beat out competition. It's not.
Let me finish my point. I feel as though that management is giving them this chance, this one chance. They know they got screwed over. They know it's a dog-eat-dog world, but they built this team right now for them to get assistance to what this team can do, what these players can do. Because they drafted them. I feel as though that they didn't have a sufficient shot the last 3 years, and they're gonna give them this shot.
And you know what, Rob? I can agree to that, and reason being is because one of the things I said about Leon Rose and what I was happy about during that video I did on front office malpractice is the fact that he kept Scott Perry. Scott Perry was around. He saw what went on last year. He saw what went on the year before. So he's been here. It's not like the whole front office is brand new and coming in with their coach and their coaching staff and it's like, okay, we just gonna focus on just running a bunch of veterans. I can tell you what Tibbs. I can tell you what Tibbs is going to do. And I agree with Guillermo. It's like AP. You're going to get every opportunity to take the reins. But guess what? If there's a veteran on the team that's better, that's who we playing. And to the point about if, you know what if means? The reason why we say if, Guillermo? If means you got hope. If you don't have an if in there, then you have no hope. And at the end of the day, right now, as Knicks fans, that's all we have is hope. Hoping that these guys will take off. And that's why we say if.
Yeah, but now you're
believe
changing your tone now, because I literally said everything you said yesterday. I've said that all the time, but it's like if you don't go and gung ho with some of you guys, it's like if you don't go gung ho for these guys, oh man, like Knox, I feel Knox is gonna do it because in that interview, it's like dogs.
No, I ain't gonna kill you for that. I ain't gonna kill you for your statement.
We've been Knicks fans for 25, 30, some of us 40 years, bro. Like hope don't mean nothing to like it don't cash checks, bro. I'm tired of hope. I'm happy that Tibbs is in. He's brought the competition because that's gonna raise some guys' levels. Some guys' levels may not raise just because they can't, and maybe they shouldn't be in the NBA period, right?
And that's why I love Tibbs.
But again, when we talk about development, competition is development, right? That is one of the best ways of because it expedited, because you might think you're good in practice. You go out and you suck in the league. You have no competition. It's like, all right, well, we give you the benefit of the doubt. You get competition in here. That is, I'm not talking about superstar. Like you got Devin Booker versus freaking Frank. Obviously, Booker's going to win, but you're getting base level competition. If you can't beat out base level competition with some of these veterans, they brought it. If Mitchell,
they're going to be gone.
If Mitchell Robinson cannot beat Nerlens Noel, he's not, and especially with all this stuff with his agent, he's not getting 60 million a year. He's not. And this is a guy that everybody, I saw a report saying he might be looking for a deal in the $75 to $80 million range. He might not even get 60 if you can't beat out. He's damn sure not getting 60 if you can't beat out Nerlens Noel.
I think I saw something that said the max that he could possibly get is $45 million.
We worrying about too much as fans. We worrying about the money they gonna get. Let's worry about the product on the floor.
That wasn't the point. That wasn't the point at all. All I'm saying is that I'm talking about development. You heard contract, which was like an endpoint for another. I'm talking about competition and development. If
everything that's connected to Mitch is all about who his agent is. That don't have anything to do with what's going on the floor.
No. Again, you it's like you just picked up 1 point in your art. That has nothing to do. That's not like the my point. My point is that if they can't beat out base level competition, they're not gonna be here.
The only one who's been throwing that around, GM. We hear about night after night.
Rob. Yeah, I just want to chime in on that one. Guillermo didn't say it, but I'm going to say it. Money matters. I know what Ron Cleveland just said about the contracts and stuff. I believe what he said about Scott Perry, I should say. I believe that we brought in analytic teams as well as Brock Otto, who's a capologist.
Mm-hmm.
We have guys that we got to re-sign next year. That's why we have to figure out what these guys are worth.
True.
If we don't figure it out this year, we don't need. Okay, I'll give you a scenario. We just brought in a bunch of guys from Utah. Dante Exum was drafted by Utah.
Oof.
Right? Dante Exum played 4 years in Utah, which has a great developmental system. One summer league, he showed out. He killed the Knicks inside summer league. He got a $10 million contract, and he never raised his level from 2.6 points per game. 2.6 points per game. If Frank Ntilikina doesn't pitch in and start giving a damn about his jump shot and also scoring the ball, then guess what? That $10 million that his cap hole is going to go for a free agent that is worth $10 million. Kevin Knox, who has to be re-signed at $5 million for his last year and given a fair chance for his fourth year in the league, guess what? He's not going to get in. He's going to have to hit the pavement. It is about the money because
Nick, look at
wins and losses next year. And
Nick, you said everything right. Nick, I agree with everything that you said, but what I'm saying is this here. With the money counts now, you're talking about the money Knicks gonna spend. When you get your own agent, you're talking about the money you're gonna make. I'm saying that doesn't matter right now. I'm not saying that it doesn't matter. I need them on the floor. I need to see what they're gonna do now. The money is gonna take care of itself.
But Rob,
whether you earn it or you don't, you won't get it or you will. But
I
as
agree.
fans,
But it
we're
starts in
talking about.
practice.
I think that
It's-
we need to be talking about more what's going on the floor.
But that matters. He again. He,
I'm not saying it doesn't. Not saying
no,
that it doesn't.
but it connects to what you just said and what I was saying. The product that's on the floor, their development is important to how we will
It's
build
important.
the future, right? So
I agree with you, Guillermo.
how
I
you
agree with
perform on the floor. Again, we bring in competition to see where these guys are at. Am I going? Why, like Nick said, why would I hire a capologist? Why would I have a guy like Leon Rose in a building to not discern how valuable a guy like Mitchell Robinson is?
Guillermo, let me ask you one question. One question. Okay, just say for instance that Burt beats out beats out Kevin Knox in the position. Like, okay, they're gonna go with him. You think after this season they're gonna sign Burt to a 5-year deal?
No, but the thing may be in the draft. If a guy,
exactly.
Hold up. If a guy like Josh Christopher falls, hold up. If a guy, this is what happened. This is why this is team build. It's not that Alec Burke, you sign him to a 5-year deal. Is that you find somebody who that does what Alec Burke does to maybe projects to do what he does on a higher level because he fits that system, whatever. And you go out and you get him, whether it's a free agent, whether it's a guy you draft, it gives you a blueprint to how you move. That's all these base level guys are doing. It's not to sign.
Hey, and just to give you guys an idea about Alex Burke, you know he's only 29 years old. So that ain't old in basketball years.
No,
I
no.
mean,
But the point,
I mean, we can honestly. To your point,
Ron.
Yeah, to your point, Guillermo. You know, realistically, if Alex Burke outshined one of these guys, he could take them guys' spot. You know what I mean?
This year,
get a 2-year deal.
Nah, I doubt it.
But again, that's not
back to the draft.
The major point is that it gives you a blueprint. If Tom Thibodeau, who does like offensive guard, if that means that, hey, we're going to this draft, and I'm not saying I'm just saying hypothetically before anybody gets mad at me saying, I'm not saying we take. If we end up at say number 3, right, and a guy like Josh Christopher falls to us, right, or even a guy, then it's like, all right,
yeah.
I think it might be Rob. No, it's not Rob. It's not
Rob is muted.
I think it's you, Guillermo. You know, you might be a little bit too close to the mic. Sometimes, if you get too close to feedback.
Hold up. Okay. Is it doing it now?
Nah.
Because I think
when you get real close to the mic.
Yeah, my Mac might be on with this thing, man. Actually, hold up. Let me just. Whatever. I'll speak with this.
Hey, but Guillermo, I'm gonna tell y'all a little something else about your boy, Alex Burke. Since we talking about potential now, we looking at this guy's stats from last year.
Yeah, shot 47.
48 games played, 29 minutes a game. He averaged 16 points, shot 40.6% from the 2, 37.5 from the 3-point range, 4.7 rebounds, 3.1 assists, 1 steal, 0.4 on block.
Yep.
I would re-sign him if he shined in New York. I would re-sign him, and the guy only 29.
I did a whole video on his impact and how why Thibodeau likes him, because he also hits the corner 3 very well, above average.
And he's 6'6".
Yeah,
he's a big guy.
42.3 from the right, and I'm looking at the shot chart, about 40 from the left, so he's consistent from both corner 3s.
He can play multiple positions, shooting guard and small forward.
Right. So, but again, it's not necessarily, Alec Burke does that well. And it's the fact that it gives you a blueprint. It says it also allows you to cut the fat, right? Because then you have a younger guy who didn't fit. And that's the only thing I'm talking about competition. Again, do I want Knox and DSJ and Frank to kill? Yes, I want them to do well. But again, I'm a fan of the team. I'm not necessarily a fan of the player. If you're not on my team, I don't care about you. So Frank and Knox and all these guys aren't helping us to win. You know what I mean? I think with Knicks fans, we're so emotional all over the place because the Knicks, they hold a place in our heart because it's like we're fans of them, but we have such a terrible owner and we feel trapped. So then it's like we become delusional and say, man, this guy, it's like our emotions go all over the place. Let's just be objective. The Knicks suck. If we could literally wipe the slate of all these guys, like I said yesterday, if you had a chance to redraft Knox, would you redraft Knox? A lot of you guys, when I initially asked that, your face was like, And then to win a point, some of you guys are like, yeah, I'd redraft Knox. I'm like, really? You really redraft Knox?
I mean, of course, based on what we know right now, I mean, we wouldn't.
Hell
You know,
no,
that
you
would
wouldn't
be
put more.
that. Hey, that would be crazy to say we would redraft him at that point. At that point, you know what I mean? But to get back on this Alex Burke point, man, and just these free agents that we brought in, if anybody in their right mind think that we brought in these free agents just to hold for just 1 year and we're gonna just move them all off, if one of these or two of these free agents end up shining, they'll be back next year.
Yep. Hey, fellas, let me move on to the next question. This is was asked of Tibbs today. You've talked about, and this is, I think we could sink our teeth into. You've talked about how there's so much more threes now around the league. It seems like they're shooting threes from further out now, more shots from 30 plus feet, which creates so much more spacing. So do you want to do that with the offense that you're constructing? Do you think it's more valuable to shoot from further out? And is it something you would like to see your team do? And Tibbs' response was, I think you have to look at the strengths and weaknesses of your team. And obviously, we're working hard on closing the gap on the deficiencies that we do have with shooting threes. What I think we're seeing in the league, there's a lot more skill on the floor now. We're usually seeing 4 shooters and 1 big, which is putting pressure on the rim. And now it's getting to the point where everyone has at least one of their centers who can shoot threes. So there are times that you have 5 3-point shooters on the floor, which opens up the cutting game. And again, I think a big part of good sound offense, when you look at teams that are successful in the playoffs, that there is a balance to it. You have different ways to get to different spots that will force the defense to collapse. So whatever your strengths are, play to those strengths. Getting to the line is very important. Getting layups, getting dunks, getting shots in the restricted area, getting corner threes, and what transition threes that you're looking for. But it's all part of your ability to force a defense to collapse. Whether you dribble, whether it's dribble penetration, whether through dribble penetration, which we're seeing a lot due to the spacing 5 out and no one in the block. So it allows you to drive. And remember, once you get in there, you have to know how many players are on you. If there are 2 players or 3 players on you, kick it out and take good shots. Knowing when to shoot and when to pass is a big part of winning in this league. And we have to figure that out to score. So Kevin, you want to kick that off?
This is, and I'll say this. How many shooters, like, would you say, like, shooters are on the Knicks right now? Probably like 4. You know, it's probably like Bullock, Burke, Knox, and Rivers are like the actual only pure shooters we have. And now I will say, we don't. Well, and I'll say the only reason I don't say quickly is because I don't know if quickly is going to make the 9 or 10 man cut out the gate.
True.
And so I'll say the people who probably made the 9 or 10 man cut, there's only 4 of them are actual shooters. And I'm not including Toppin because I don't know yet, because I haven't seen Toppin on that stage as a shooter to say, oh yeah, he's another shooter. We hope he is, but we don't know yet. So if that being said, shooting is not a strength of the team. And if he's trying to allude to that, he's going to have to figure out different ways to generate points, which is why I think he wants a stronger defensive team. Because I mean, you can look at it like, well, we're not Golden State. We're not about to be jacking up threes like that. Because it's about trust and taking good shots. You don't trust Elfrid Payton taking shots. You don't trust Julius Randle taking shots. As much as we all love the summer videos of Mitch Robinson taking shots, I don't think Mitch trusts himself to take shots. So with that being said, and we all know over the last 2 years that Tibbs has been out of coaching. He's going from different teams and study those teams, how they work and their game plans to figure out, okay, what do I have? Because I have this clay and I have to mold it some way. And just because one team or however many teams are good at knocking down threes doesn't mean that my team is right now. And I'm not about to get caught up in what other teams are doing. My thing is, if I stop these other teams from hitting all these threes is going to give my team a better chance of winning. Which is why I think so far, from my understanding, like the first 2-3 days of game has been just defense.
Mm-hmm.
So let me stop what these other teams are doing to give my team, because my team isn't good as good as what these other teams are at this particular outset, to give my team the best chance of winning. So my team's strength is defense, sharing the ball, rebounding, getting out and running. Then that's what we're going to focus on, because that's what my team does good. I'm not going to force I'm not going to force a round. How does that go? I don't even know.
Taking a square hole.
Yes.
Hey, right. Look, can I say one thing? Steven, when you asked the question, everybody got that clock up there, right? This should be like a question that could be asked and answered, not asked, but the question you take as long enough to ask. But in order for it to get around to everybody got to limit their answer to like 45 seconds. Because we be going on and on and on and on, and the chat loses interest. I'm watching the chat. So if that's something that we can implement in this, we can get the question around to everybody else. Like,
I'll keep a timer up.
Yeah, I respect that, man. Sound bites is where it's at. So,
Thank you
Kevin,
for
you want to finish up and we'll hand it off?
No,
Thanks, Rob.
that was it.
Hey, Rob, you want to take it?
well, yeah, he said something as far as like with the 3-point shot opening up the offense. I feel as though like Kevin said, we don't have all the players. We got about 4 shooters on the team like that. So I think that we'll probably be running a different type of offense. And the question that the reporter asked really is not about us. It's about the league. We got to concentrate pretty much on our team, and that's about it. So yeah, I'm pretty much finished with the question.
Nick?
Historically, most teams per many other podcasts and stuff like that, historically defense is what you work on first because it's the easiest concept to grasp. You get better at offense as you get chemistry and also just playing off each other and adjusting to injuries, etc. You always start off with defense, no matter what. It doesn't matter. You just start off with the defense, and that's what he specializes off of. And you can run defense if you could get to a point where you're 5 fingers on a hand, or operating on a string. Then you're good. You'll be fine. That's my answer.
The first thing I thought when I read the response, and I'll touch on Ron. Ron touched on this the other day. The first person I thought about was Amari Spellman, that he can be that disruptive person, as they said about having 4 or 5 guys, and every team has at least one center that can shoot threes. Spellman may be that. Ron, you want to take it?
Yeah, really hearing the comment, I really think that with Tibbs, I think Tibbs that's why he's emphasizing that we're going to run, is because you're going to take advantage of your strength. Anytime you got a young team, the advantage of a young team is their youth, their ability to run longer than a veteran team, and especially when you're coming in new and you got all these moving parts. The easiest part of offense is trying to fast break. That's the easiest thing. And I agree with Nick's point. When you're trying to, establish offensive sets, that's going to be a lot harder, especially with a shortened training camp and everything. So, essentially, really not a training camp. So it's really incumbent upon these guys to really, and that's why I'm glad and got encouraged to hear how these guys have been working on their own. And that's the sign of a professional. Trying to perfect your craft. So I'm looking forward to the season, man. I just think we're not going to be a slow team this year. That's for sure.
Guillermo, your thoughts?
Yeah, man. I mean, look, basics, right? Generate offense via defense. If you don't have a team with a lot of talent to work with, or you don't have the time to implement the system you want, or as quickly as you want it. Am I still echoing? What the hell? So yeah, again, to me, you have length on this team. You have young guys, athletic guys. Have them start off from defense, generate the offense that way. And again, there's nothing wrong with learning how to play the passing lanes, learn how to neutralize teams' best offensive players on any given night. If you want to become a better student of the game, situational basketball is extremely important. So I like the answer from Tibbs, man.
And Guillermo, I got to say something to your point right there, man. You know what you just made me think about in your comment?
What?
Think about that Chicago team. They weren't the greatest team so far as having talent. But you know what they did? And we all can attest to this. They outworked your behind every night. Every night they brought it on that defensive end. So that's what I kind of envision with our team this year, because things we know is fluid. It's going to be real fluid. There's going to be changes. There's going to be trades made. So we just need to sit back and get ready for the ride.
Yeah. You know, this morning on Freezy's morning show, he had Ghetto Intellect on the show, and he was saying some really deep stuff. But one of the things I think he captured, and we've touched on it, that really one of the biggest culture changes that came out of the first few days is saying that stops. If we get stops, everything else takes care of itself after that. So I think that's really, really the focus versus some of the previous regimes that have been here.
Getting back to the foundation of what this thing behind me was when it was powerful. It was all about defense. And it wasn't all about the offense.
That's for sure. Now, the next question really wasn't much. It was just saying, Austin Rivers is not practicing today. Where are you at with him? So how much does it hurt him and others for him losing time in this quick turnaround? And Tibbs' answer was, it definitely puts him behind. But you also have to be smart about it. You have to be careful with pulls and strains. So when he's healthy and ready to go, he'll go. Right now, it gives us a chance to evaluate other guys. Who do you think those other guys are?
It's probably out the gate. Like if you say Friday, probably like quickly, we'll probably get some burn. Mostly this quickly and DSJ, I would think. They're the two people who probably would benefit most from getting most of the time that Rivers would probably be playing.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that Powell will get a look? Because if you're talking about a guard who can score, and again, you know Tibbs likes guards who can score on their own. A guy like Powell, I think if DJ is going to get time, I think Powell needs to get time as well too. Because Powell and DSJ, I don't think DSJ is that far ahead of Powell. I know that Powell is a 4-year guy, but again, I think Tibbs likes guys who probably spend some time in college. A lot of these older coaches do appreciate that, even though it's a lost paradigm for the most part. So if Powell has a chance, I think that Powell might have. If DJ's going to look, I think Powell's going to also get a look.
The reason I would disagree is because I think there's more of an investment in DSJ. Because, like I said, with the limited amount of practice and training camp they've had, they're really going to treat these preseason games as a trial and look and see moving here for the regular season. What do we have? That's what
By the way, we caught the culprit. It's you, Kevin. My bad. You're echoing. I muted myself and you were echoing, so we caught you, Kevin.
Hold on.
Keep talking. Because I'm getting paranoid, man. I don't know what the hell. And I was like, yo, I know it can't be me. I muted myself and I still heard the echo, but it might be you or Nick, but it might be you, Kevin. But yeah, I mean, it was you, Nick? Yeah, Nick. Of course.
Oh.
Just mess up everything, Nick. This guy.
I'm gonna say, I don't think it was me.
Yep, it was Nick.
Apologize to Kevin.
That investment was by the previous regime. That's not this regime. They're not invested in, or they didn't invest in DSJ.
Technically, Scott Perry did. Scott Perry was a part of that.
Well, he made the trade, right?
So that means that's his investment.
But okay. So was DSJ? Did they trade KP because they wanted DSJ badly, or they trade KP and DSJ was a talent that they were going to bring back?
It might have at the time. It might have been both.
And again, I don't know. And again, Perry is a part of the old regime. He's part of this new regime, but he doesn't have. I don't think he has that same stature with this new regime as he did with the old. And he's probably going to go back to the Kings or some other. He's probably going to leave. The Kings just fired their recent GM. So yeah, but I can see Perry going back to another team. So, but again, I don't think DSJ is this major investment like say Obi, right? I don't think, not to say that they don't hope for DSJ's progression, But DSJ and Miles Powell, like literally sit here and tell me, I know it's crazy to say this, right? And DSJ has had years, rookie year, second year, where he had some production. But again, that production comes with some caveats, right? High usage rate, couldn't really shoot, was kind of like, all right, we have to see what we have from the Mavericks, right? From the Mavericks standpoint. Miles Powell and DSJ, is there a clear-cut winner when you put them side by side for at least some type of guard role on the team?
I would say that how many games has DSJ started in the NBA? And I think that will give him the leg up because DSJ has been a starting guard in the NBA to where Miles Powell has never played a minute.
He started 120. His game started is 122 out of 156 games, DSJ in his career.
So he's a legit NBA starting guard in the NBA. And that right there will give him the leg up.
I'm not sure if it comes out into the preseason or whatever, or even an early season, and Miles Powell and DSJ hasn't really developed those nuances, right? Like the shooting, passing throughout all the floor, not just him, the corner guy, right? Like Nick likes to say. But if Powell's has shown that he's more of a complete or a relatively more complete point guard than DSJ, because DSJ has started games, but again, caveats, right? First year with the Mavericks, they're trying to see what they got in him. Second year, I believe that's when Luka came. And I think they had in their mind, like, yeah, we're going to move in a different direction. Comes to the Knicks. Again, a team that was in disarray with Fizdale and all those new guys who came in. DJ and who's the other guy? The guy who used to wear the freaking karate headband on his freaking head. Wesley Matthews. So again, those games started. I would, if it was like he was starting for like, I say, a playoff team or something like that, then it's like, all right, yeah, that experience. But and I agree with you, experience does count. I'm not discounting that whatsoever. But I watched DSJ and he just struggles as a point guard. You could see getting major minutes. Like the ball has to be in his hand, and he's not an efficient player. So I don't know. Miles Powell, at least his junior, showed that he could be a guy off the bench, be maybe a microwave type of player, give you a solid 10-15, facilitate, and do the little things that Tibbs likes his point guards to do over DSJ.
Yeah, I think this is a perfect segue to the next question. Only in camp, but what have you seen from DSJ so far? And Tibbs said, I saw him quite a bit of him this summer. I think he's come to camp. He's been very aggressive. Each day he's gotten better and better, and that's what we're asking him to do. This team, keep organized, take advantage of what your strengths are, your ability to get downhill and force defenses to collapse, and then make the right play. He can score the ball and shooting the ball pretty well, right? Making good plays also. And right up to that question, his work proof on his shot. Is it too early for you to tell if the changes he's made with his shot have made him a better shooter, whether it can last into the season and whether it's something he can do in actual games? And Tibbs said, well, that's what we're hoping to see, and we'll know when we get to the games. I think a big part of shooting, of course, is concentration and confidence. So if you put in the work, obviously you'll get more confident from doing that. And being in great shape is a big part of being successful in this league. So he has to continue to work on his conditioning, continue studying the league, and just concentrate on getting better each and every day. You see that with a lot of players. He's still really young, and there's usually some bumps in the road. He has to find the way to rise above that and become successful. So, Ron, you want to take that?
So you said what you said about confidence and concentration. Was it confidence and concentration?
Yes.
But that was his shooting. That's what he said about shooting?
Yep.
With DSJ, there's no doubt the talent, the ability to get downhill real fast and, be able to high rise with the best of them. The only real question mark with him, is that shooting and the ability to just run the team the right way. And so that's decision making. Some things with some players can't be taught. Decision making, that can linger on a player for their whole career. But the smartest players stay in the league. If he's able to harness that shooting that he's been practicing with, in my book, arguably probably top 4 shooting guy, period, in the NBA history, Mahmoud, if he can channel what he's been doing all summer I think the sky's the limit for that kid, man. Because there's always going to be a spot in the league for you if you can shoot.
And on the previous question where he was talking about the importance of being able to penetrate, and as they collapse, whether get fouled or kick it out, DSJ absolutely has that athleticism that'll allow him to do that.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Hey, Nick, your thoughts?
Just to put it in context, some of the things that y'all were talking about last night too. He worked out with Fizdale and their staff last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
This kid did all the work, even fired Rich Paul as an agent to be a starter. He was promised the starting spot. If you had listened to Jonathan Macri, he had done an interview with DSJ's trainer in January. And DSJ trainer said, I have to rebuild this kid's shot from scratch. After working all summer long with Keith Smart.
Wow.
So imagine you do all this work with Keith Smart. And I'm going to put this out there too, just to tell you how far back these kids got set back by David Fizdale. The first guy in the gym with David Fizdale was Kevin Knox. The guy who worked out with David Fizdale all summer long was Dennis Smith Jr. And who had the worst seasons for this team?
Very good point. Dennis Smith Jr.
And as Ron and I were talking about it, muscle memory, it's really hard after you put in all that work to all of a sudden forget that muscle memory with a snap of the finger.
And what you're going to tend to do is go back to what you used to.
Yep, it's like a boxer. You get hit in the nose, you just go right back to what you know.
But add the punch in the face was his stepmom dying.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and then everyone, all of New York is saying, booing this kid. Like, we were so unfair technically to this kid. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say he is the greatest basketball player on the planet. But pre-season, before this kid had played a college game, he was top 5 in the nation. We get him for Porzingis as a throw-in in the deal. And then we boo him as soon as he gets his chance. He fired his agent as the Knicks staff wanted him to do. He worked with Keith Smart as the New York Knicks staff wanted him to do, and we booed him.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot to handle, man. I gotta agree with you. I mean, I felt bad for him watching it on TV.
Yeah, he's a young man. He shouldn't have to put up with that shit.
Did you feel bad for him when he took that $75,000 in college?
Nah, hey, they all need to be getting paid in college.
Look, that's a rhetorical question because guess what? Paris Thugger said one thing, and I agree. This sums up DSJ to me, and I'm gonna just read what Paris Thugger said. DSJ got to get punched in the mouth and show up after, no pouting.
I agree with you.
And get into the best condition of his life.
Oh, the mother thing. Look, I agree with you, Nick, that it's harsh, but none of us knew that, right? Because
we sure didn't. I agree, Legion.
Let's not. New York. I hate this thing, especially when these hipsters or whatever move to New York. They think that you have to be an a-hole, and that's not what New York is about. So if people knew that happened to him, I'm pretty sure the crowd would have been like, "Nah, like, all right, let it be, whatever." But again, guys, this is the NBA. Once you take that check, it is the Wild West, relatively speaking, right? You could be in great situations. You could be with a great team, great development, all that stuff, be a Hall of Fame player. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, all that great. And you could be in a situation like DSJ.
Hey, he showed his first game in the Garden. He dropped 28 points. They was loving him.
Yeah.
He was on a steady decline after that. But look, DSJ need no chaser. Straight up. Quit mountain, play ball, and get your thing together.
Because you know why, Rob? You know what thing about it, Rob?
Tough love.
The same people who are booing you, if you kill it, Charles Oakley to this day is still beloved in New York.
John Stockton is too.
John Stockton is
18 in the championship.
Yeah,
exactly.
So that's the thing. And I know DSJ did not pick New York, right? He got traded here. But I'm gonna say to DSJ, man, this is a business. It's an entertainment business. If you're not producing,
But you know what, though, Guillermo?
They're also paying you too, so you're getting paid a lot. I mean,
but you know what, hey, Guillermo, you know he wanted to come to New York initially, and he thought he was coming when we drafted Frank.
But you know
he
the
thought
problem
New York was going to get him.
You know the problem is, Ron. You know the problem is, Ron. You have a lot of these, and it's unfortunate. This is where I do feel sorry for them because a lot of these kids get stalked by agents or stuff. They get pushed into thinking that they have to make decisions, adult decisions about entering the NBA, about a lot of these things, right? Accepting money here and there because their parents are broke and they're put in this precarious position, right? I think that's unfair because they're 16, 17-year-olds saying, yeah, man, I got to take this agent. He's been offering such and such. And my mom, she's sick, or my mom, we live in the hood, blah, blah, blah. And that's where I think that's really unfair because these guys take advantage of these young kids and use them up. But once you're in the NBA, once you decide to go in the NBA, it is a tough league. But again, if you are good, it will reward you. If you work hard on your craft and you improve, it will reward you. And New York, we want a winner so bad that if DSJ got us to the play, if DSJ was a major piece why we got into, say, the Eastern Conference Finals, right?
He could always come back to New York.
And he leaves the next year. Everybody would have this fairy tale idea of what DSJ was to the Knicks. Yo, DSJ was why
did we really put a statue in front of the garden?
That's all we'll do. Yo, why we let DSJ go, bro? Damn, man, that's effed up. Yo, I hate the Knicks, man. That's how
You're right, though. You're right, but you know what I think it is too, Guillermo. To your point, man, a lot of these guys, man, and I always go back thinking about my cousin in baseball, being Mr. Baseball for the state of South Carolina, and I remember what he went through. When you used to being the man and everybody telling you how great you are, and then at the first sign of adversity, it's going to tell what you made out of. When you go to college, everybody on the same level. Yes, everybody that came there off high school resumes. Them coaches don't know you from Adam. So you gotta build your resume all over again. Yes, and for him, he couldn't handle it. And I think that happened to a lot of these guys, man. Adversity is like they say, pressure bust pipes, man, all day and night.
And I know people are going to kill, but I say it for all the young guys too, right? So even with DSJ, when you talk about things like body language, right? And people are kill me. I'm not killing Knox, right? But one thing I know is that when you pout on the court, and those other teams, they're vultures. They don't look at Knox like, oh, he's fool. Oh, we got him. Double pick and roll on doubles. I mean, that's cancer, right?
Look,
get at him. Mentally, he's off.
He may be pouting because they just sent him to stand in the corner.
You read the offense.
That's true.
He probably said, I was crying.
You know what,
Rob?
was
the coach in Dallas?
If Knox makes it, he'll be the one doing this. So if he gets that shot, he's getting.
Hey, look, I got this to say. Look, y'all check this out. I know y'all seen the Randle interview, right? Let me tell you what I did. I went back and watched when he was introduced as a New York Knick last year to check out the body language from each interview. Hey, Randle and I didn't want to say it, but when I went back to 2019 when he got introduced as the Knick until the one he had today, he was totally so positive in his first interview. And when he had this interview, he was like, yo, there's going to be a lot of turnovers in the game. Like, he just hating on the team already, but then he's still sticking there, hard work.
I didn't like that response neither when I read that. I didn't like that.
Oh, that's just go out there is going to be.
Made me go back. That's what made me go back to his last year's.
And he preparing y'all for that spin move turnover.
Hey,
65 times.
Like, okay, so can I just say this real quick? Does that, because people kill me about this Randle thing. Thank God of Moses is Elijah.
Oh, the chat say Randle was hating.
But you saying something like,
shut.
And again, it may just him being talking in interviews, whatever, right? But do you just feel like this guy don't really want to mentor or help develop the younger kids on the scene? When he says stuff like, yeah, it's gonna be chaos, it's gonna be crazy, but you just gotta go out there. It's like dogs. Like, I don't know. I don't want to be looking into it too much, but it's too much circumstantial evidence to be like, yeah, I don't know if this guy really is.
Look at it this way. One year the team tells you, you the man. This is your team. We want you to be that star. And the next year they literally draft your replacement, and then expect you to mentor the guy that's trying to take your job. So of course I'm not going to be. Nobody's going to be thrilled about that.
But the thing about it, Kevin, and I partially agree with that, right? But it's been 2 years, so he's been showing that attitude since last year before he got a replacement.
Exactly.
No, last year he was fine, and
no, he wasn't. No, he was not.
And
No, he
over
was
the
not.
moon, like, oh, I'm the man now.
No, he was not. Taking a technical shot from Frank does what to your team? The technical shot for a team that's so-called developing, Steve Mills and his weird head thought they were going to playoffs, but to take in a technical shot, right, from Frank Ntilikina, right? What does that do to Frank's confidence, right? I'm a soccer fan, right? You know, hold on. I'm a soccer fan, right? Bruno Fernandes, a hat trick in soccer is extremely hard, right? This dude had 2 goals, I believe, in the first half it was, and he gave he got a penalty, and he's a penalty kicker. He gave the goal to the young kid who was struggling, right? That's to build up his confidence. That's hey, team morale, hey, you got it. Get on the board. Get your confidence up because we need you. We need you in other games to
That's
produce.
a high IQ player.
When you do that, I'm not saying that would change Frank's whole outlook, but you taking away the ball from a kid where he's supposed to take a technical shot, right? For a kid who looks at the foul line because he doesn't get many of them, right? What do you think that does for the young kids on the team?
It does to Julius Randle, and we know he don't care.
He's selfish.
Julius Randle is
now. All right.
Julius Randle in his mind was, I am the star, and the star player takes a shot.
Yeah, that's exactly what that was.
Exactly.
Well, you're proving our point then, because there are other star players who conceded spots or help
If PJ Tucker got a technical shot, who's taking the technical shot?
No.
James Harden.
Oh, hold on. But Harden, Randle, right?
But in Randle's mind is his team.
And Randle,
Randle is Harden. And that is what Randle's mindset is.
And that's where intangibles come in, right? You have to have the wherewithal to be like, look, I ain't no James Harden. And he missed the technical shot anyway, right?
Not only that, Guillermo.
No, the wherewithal is
they put me in to be the star. I know the team needs development, and I'm not this great shooter to be like, yo, I'm the guy, yo, blah blah. First of all, wherewithal is also this to realize, yeah, I got paid the highest amount, but I know that me coming in here, I wasn't say the plan A or whatever. I'm not the so in a sense it may have been, hey, they're trying to do whatever. So let me have the wherewithal to be like, look, this team needs a lot of development. You have a lot of guys in the team that don't have confidence. Let me do something to build the team chemistry. Because maybe I build the team chemistry, these guys around me might play a lot better.
Not only that, Guillermo, think about this. Typically, this where you talk about wherewithal, right? Awareness. Typically, the guy that normally shoots the technical is your best or better free throw shooter on the floor at that time. And Julius is not a better free throw shooter than Frank.
Frank was the best on the team.
But here's the thing. Like I said, this just goes to mindset. Because in 6 years in the NBA, Julius Randle has never been the best player on the team until Steve Mills and David Fizdale said, you are our star.
I think he's going to end up being a career journeyman.
So in his mind was, I am the star, and the star takes a shot. Back down, little French rookie boy.
Okay, and then again, this is why a guy like Julius Randle can go. Because you're talking about a guy.
I'm not stopping. I don't think anybody is stopping Julius Randle.
I know you're not.
We all would have welcomed him. I would take him to JFK.
Hey, fellas, this how you know he ain't bright as a ball player. I'm not saying in other things, but as a ball player, you know what that guy shot from the free throw line last year?
What, 70s, low 70s?
73.3.
73. Wow.
I still remember the game he missed the second free throw shot. I still remember that game. Everybody's hyped up, and it was one, I think, to tie it, right? It was to tie it.
Yeah. I knew when he went to the line, I said, this game, we're going to lose.
You saw his face. I was like, yeah.
He was scared. He was scared going to the line. He knew. No confidence.
Hey, you know what would have been crazy? If you put a younger player on the line like Frank, say, yo, win us the game. That's
but really, with a team like the Knicks, it should have been Mike Miller. Like, no.
Somebody should have told him, hey, no, don't go to the line.
My bad. That was a foul. That was a 2-point, the 2-shot foul. My bad. I'm mixing
But
up
that was
the technical. My bad.
But that's coaching. Mike Miller been like that's why I said there was no accountability because Mike Miller should have said nah.
Hey, Kev, you echoing.
Yeah, that's definitely Kev. That ain't me, Kev. Don't look over here, Kev. That's all you, bro.
I turned my volume down. It can't be me.
I know it's Kevin, man. We caught Kevin, bro.
Okay,
Is
Kev.
it
Oh, yo.
Hello?
yo,
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you
yeah, I
hear me?
hear you just fine,
Yeah,
Ron.
that's Kevin. I told y'all we caught Kevin, man.
That is not me.
I don't know who it is. I just know
It's crazy. That's all we know. It seems like it's jumping on everybody, Mike.
It's weird.
It might be Steven. Steven's been quiet this whole night, man.
The professor.
Yeah, this dude, man. Again, the evil genius, man. This guy's been sent back. He got his new mic. Oh, he got a nice nano mic, man.
I like that too.
Yeah, everybody's asking.
I had this really cool guy gave me a recommendation.
Oh Lord, this
I
guy.
wonder who it is. Must be Guillermo.
All right.
I said really cool guy.
Guillermo, you trying to be humble? It was Guillermo.
Wow.
Good one. This guy Steven got jokes, man. I like that, man.
Yo,
That's cool, man.
let me get to the last question, and I think this will open some eyes. Quickly came into the league with a reputation as a shooter, but the other parts of the game, team defense, running an offense, is that where a rookie has the longest learning curve? And Tibbs said, yeah. I think the one thing is that he has a great skill already. He can shoot the ball as well as anyone in this league. He's truly a great shooter. And now it's learning all the other parts of his team. The defensive usually the biggest adjustment for guys, of course, the tendency is and learning his team. The game different. The college game different than the NBA game. Adjustment period to go through. But I love his enthusiasm. He has a great work ethic, great student of the game. He's in early. He stays late. He comes back at night. He does all the things that you would like a rookie to do. So you want to take it, Ron?
Yeah. I tell you what, when I look at quickly, I read that article myself. You know, and one thing that stand out, we went back to my point what I said a few nights ago. You know, the guy's shooting is too strong for him to be not in the rotation. We're gonna have to find a rotation spot for him. And I love the fact that Tibbs said that he arrives early and leaves late. So that tells me you're not thinking about what you're gonna do after practice or trying to do whatever you want and your mind not focus on getting to practice. So I like that aspect. And I think quickly really is to that second unit or that six man spot. I think he's going to be vital.
And also the acknowledgement already, never playing an NBA game, and Tibbs with all his experience that he's already
that's huge.
Thinks of him as one of the best shooters in the league already.
Yeah, that's huge. 40%, man, from the 3-point line. I mean, that says a lot.
92% from the charity stripe.
This is the thing about it. When you have guys who can fit a role and then expand, right? That's what Tibbs likes, right? Guys who they do one or two things or can do them really good or project to do them at least slightly above adequate, right? Coming in as rookies, whatever, right? Shoots the ball well, 6'3", 6'8" wingspan, right? So he's going to be able to guard and shoot the three well. When you look at Tom Thibodeau team, especially with the Bulls, right? He loves guards who can score, who can he likes shooters, and he also likes defense. Guys like Quickly, I know this sounds crazy. You guys might kill me. He might have a quicker time getting on the floor than some of the younger kids like Frank and DSJ, because those guys are major question marks. They don't really project to do something really well that fits Tibbs' system. But Quickly,
I'm not going to kill you for that, Guillermo.
And aid space.
Miles Powell, I'm telling you, Miles Powell might be, and again, I know Austin Rivers, a bunch of other guys are here and whatnot, but a guy like Miles Powell, go watch his tape. Off the dribble, I believe he spent 22% of his possessions off the dribble, his scoring possessions off the dribble, right? I think he shot really well. I forgot the number. I have to go back and look at the video, but shot fairly well off the like that is especially in an offense where there's going to be movement, right? There's going to be spacing in this offense and movement, right? Getting a guy like Miles Powell to hit 36% from three attempts his first year. You tell me Tom Thibodeau is not going to see that and say, yeah, but we got to see what Frank does while Frank, and I'm not saying Frank is doing, I'm just giving a hypothetical and say Frank can't match up to that. Or DSJ, let me say DSJ, because DSJ seems like more of a comp to Miles Powell. DSJ is still shooting poorly from the field. His shot form is still bad. It's clunky. He slows up the offense. I'm telling you, man, these young boys, man, that they draft or they're bringing in, especially quickly, 92 from the line.
Oh, yeah, he's playing. He's playing.
Yeah.
Period. He's playing.
So let me ask y'all this. So if everything holds true and Tibbs goes to this 9 to 10 man rotation, somebody's not playing.
Oh yeah.
And there's two, and it's the most log jam at the guard spot.
Mm-hmm.
So who do you think is not going to play, Kevin? We do it right now. Who do you think is not playing? We go around and ask who you think is going to get the cut from, and not the Exhibit 10 guys. Just ignore those guys. But
I'll throw mine out quick. Alfred Payton. And the reason why I say that, we got to see what DSJ is, and we got to make a decision on him and Frank. So that's 2 point guards right there. And Quickly definitely getting on. And I said it initially when we got Quickly, I said we might even start Quickly. I think, Legion, you said the same thing. Don't be surprised if Quickly becomes the starter. The kid is just too good to not keep on the floor.
Yeah, I don't see that. You know, we all have our issues with Peyton, but based on the previous question and of comments by Tibbs about having somebody who can penetrate, Alfred can penetrate. He was second in the league getting to the rim last year behind Zion. So
can't shoot free throws.
Well, but kicking it out, and you know what? If he can't shoot, he's going for a layup. If he misses the layup and he gets fouled, that's a positive. But I think he has certain attributes to his game, Peyton, at this stage. I don't want Peyton here next year, believe me. But at this stage, with the guards that we have, I think he has shown in his career that he can penetrate and he can dish.
To be honest with you, it's, to me, the odd man out, and I know a lot of Knicks fans won't like this, is probably Frank.
I look
that
at Frank
that could be true too.
To a wing and out of the point guard position. I look at him, you know, as we were talking about as a Bruce Bowen type. I think him migrating out of that point guard.
Okay, but here's the thing. So let's look at this.
Yep.
You got Randall, RJ, they're playing. Obi's playing. Knox is playing. Mitch is playing. Noel is playing. Rivers is probably going to play whenever he gets healthy.
Mm-hmm.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 7 right there.
So you got 2 more spots. Who you playing?
So you got Bullocks, Burks, Quickly, DSJ, Alfred, Frank. That's 6 people right there for like 2 spots. That's what I'm saying. Somebody's not. There's gonna be a couple people not playing.
Yeah, some people ain't gonna be happy. That's for sure.
And Frank is $10 million cap hit, right?
But then again, I won't say he ain't playing. He might be playing that 2 guard position, that backup 2.
Well, he doesn't fit. Like historically, what Tibbs has done with guys like Frank is play him in the off guard or the 3. Frank is a natural 2. I don't know why. It's just he doesn't shoot it well, but he's a natural 2. He's not a point guard.
Right.
We got to get out that thought that Frank Ntilikina is a point guard. He's not a point guard. Stop saying point guard. He's not a point. He just could play point periodically, which
he's more of a combo. He's more of a combo, exactly, and that's what a combo is. You don't leave him in one position too long. You interchange him between the point guard and the shooting guard position.
I hate to keep referencing the Bull team, but Frank is basically what Tony Snell was to the Bulls on the Tibbs.
Yeah, and then
a good comparison.
Josh Okogie, same thing. Frank Ntilikina, same thing. Can't shoot, played the wing. Done. There's no discussion about Frank.
I mean, if he embraced that role at the 2 and start shooting that rock, it'll be a valuable piece moving forward. If he embraced being at that 2 guard position.
So, like I said, somebody is not playing.
Oh yeah, unless Tibbs push that lineup up further than 9 men, with this being a shortened season and then back to backs, you just never know with Tibbs if he changes his mindset on going more than 9 man deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who do you think the next casualties are going to be across the team? That's it for the question. So let's go freestyle now.
I hate to say it because I want to see this guy so bad, man. Hot dog, Iggy.
Oh,
I agree.
Yeah. Goodbye.
I want to see him play so bad, man.
Why do you hate not seeing Iggy Brasdegas? Because there's a general thing that happens with Knicks fans. If a guy comes to G League or if they get drafted by the Knicks, they have to play. Or they
My thing is, Nick, my thing is, you don't buy a car not to drive it. We drafted this kid, and we drafted this guy, and the guy never played on the team, even when it was clear initially that we was rebuilding. So
yeah, he was drafted by a previous regime.
That's what I'm saying. He's a casualty of front office malpractice. That's what happened.
Hey, Ron, quick question. You ever went to Enterprise and rented a car?
Oh, all the time. I don't drive my vehicle out of town. I rent a car and burn the miles up on theirs.
Okay, so Enterprise, you could buy their cars too. You could rent them and then buy them.
I wouldn't buy them.
But here what? Iggy Brasdegas, for the position that he played historically, was the 3. He is too slow-footed to guard the 3 position. He's too slow to play the power forward position. He's just in between. I'm sorry. I would love the kid to get a chance, but he may not be NBA ready or an NBA player by the time we need him to be. So,
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You proving my point. What I'm saying is I'm going to hate to see that guy get cut. Notice the question with Steve asked who he thought was going to be the man out, odd man out. I said I hate to see it, but I think he's going to be the odd man out. I'm not disputing that he's going to be gone. But my thing is he going to be someplace else and he's going to develop? He's going to be someplace. Somebody going to take a chance on him.
But okay, Ron, like he's going to take away Kevin Knox's chance. And Kevin Knox has a higher ceiling than Iggy Brasdegas. Like defensively, Iggy is not as good as Kevin Knox.
I don't know about that now. I can't agree with that.
Okay.
I can't agree with that. I can't agree with that because Kevin Knox defense ain't nothing to talk about now. Don't do that. Come on, hey, Legion. Come on, Legion. Come on now. Come on, fellas. Come on, Kev.
I can't say
I can't defend Knox defense now.
Okay, let me defend.
I'm not going to sit here and say that I've seen that much of Iggy on the defensive side of the ball to give it.
I ain't seen much of both of them on the ball. Let's be real.
Okay.
Knox was getting lit up too.
I've seen Knox as a good help side defender. I'll say that. He's had his moments where he's a good help side
let
defender.
people blow by him.
Hey, Ron, you wrong on that, baby. I know you want to see Iggy, though, but you wrong on that. Because if Iggy had any type of defensive ability, along with scoring 20 points, he would have been on the team last year. It was a reason why he was a second-round pick like that they bought. He ain't in the class right now. Not to say that he can't grow to be that. I know you want to see him because you want to see something that you haven't seen. But to put him above something,
I ain't gonna put him above Knox.
Wrong.
Because see, we assuming that he would take Knox's spot. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you mean to tell me out of how many men on the team, you can't find a spot even if he's the last man on the team. That's all I'm emergency player, man. Emergency player. Keep working with the kid to get him where you need him to be. Because the one thing I can tell you with that kid, Rob, I can tell you this: he's gonna work hard. He's gonna try, but we ain't never even get a chance.
I'll say this real quick with both Knox and Iggy. Not to say one's gonna take the other, but there is a dearth at the 3 spot.
Exactly.
So if Iggy comes in, and I'm not saying he's gonna beat out, but I'm saying if these guys, Iggy needs to see that, hey, maybe my Nick mortality, it's clicking, the clock is ticking. Excuse me. I gotta ball out this because every time we saw Iggy in Spurs, and obviously he didn't get any real minutes with the Knicks, but he didn't look like, oh man, this guy needs to be playing. It wasn't that. Now in the G League, he did his thing, but again, it's G League. They're guys they call triple A or quadruple A players, right? Guys who look, they're a superstar in the G League or superstar in AAA, whatever. They get
John
the big
Jenkins.
leagues, and it's like, okay, we get it.
I hear what you're saying about the G League Legion, but let's think about this too now. We had a guy on our team that came up from the G League that was killing it, and he was killing it with us.
Who's that? Trey Burke? You gonna say?
Who was that?
You know it.
Who?
He was killing it with us. Exactly. You call the name.
Trey Burke was okay with us.
Trey Burke ball for when he came up.
He was okay for us. I would say
Hey, he was one of our better players when he came up.
But he was a first round pick.
Regardless, he went to the G League.
What he was in the top 10. He was a lottery pick. But if everybody's not going to do what Trier did, and that's what Knicks fans are thinking, that doesn't happen. What Trier did was like, people don't do that.
But Trier only dropped because of the questionable stuff and with the PEDs and stuff. He was supposed to be a first round pick.
Hey, look, the skill level that Knox had that he had, and what you're looking at like Powell and things like that, they not gonna probably even make the team. I'm sorry. Powell, because Iggy gonna make the team, Powell won't. Both of them ain't gonna make the team.
Yeah, somebody's gonna be the odd man out. And if I got no choice, I'm taking my shot on the guy that we drafted that we never even found out nothing about. But stuck him in the G League after he showed out in the Summer League too. But I know Summer League is just JV basketball, but still, the guy showed something. And you got to look and see. That's why I'm glad Tibbs is in there, and he's gonna look at everybody objectively with a clean slate, and he's gonna decide who plays.
Hey, look, it's impossible for him to pick Powell in 2 weeks. There was no Summer League to really gauge him.
I ain't talking about Powell. I talking about Iggy.
Bro, yeah, Iggy got. I'm telling you, Iggy got a shot.
Yeah, Iggy does have a chance to make the team.
Everybody else, everybody else that you didn't get to see on the floor, and in 2 weeks, Tibbs can't pick him. I'm sorry, Tibbs can't pick that boy in 2 weeks.
It's not going to come down to Powell. It's going to come down to Iggy and Michael Kidd-Gilchrist.
Oh
and
man!
If I'm choosing between them, I'm taking Iggy.
But here's the thing. Regardless of fans, politics is going to play a lot in this.
You got that right, Kev.
Well, look,
Iggy's RJ.
Hey, look, I spend more money for the pick for Iggy than I would pay Gilchrist for the year.
Say that again, Rob.
I paid more money that I paid the team to get Iggy's pick than I would have to pay.
Exactly, and that's why I would play Iggy.
But here's the thing, Leon Rose didn't pay for Iggy.
It still came out of Dolan pocket though. Yeah, and we know Dolan don't care about money.
It's about regimes. It's not about the owner.
Dolan's not making this decision. Leon Rose is making this decision.
Man, Gilchrist is a bum. We all know it.
But here's the thing.
Hey, Tom didn't talk too great about him now. I must agree. He said he has to change his ways in order to get the league.
Like I said,
and it is too ringing about Gilchrist. You know what I mean?
He's a bum.
We are, yes. The fans know he's a bum, but he might be Leon Rose's guy.
But I must say, we only paid him $50,000. That was a steal to get a defensive man for $50,000.
They put him in there to work the kids to show them how to play D. Then they're gonna let him go. He's setting the presence about how to play.
He's gonna learn how to play D in 2 weeks.
So Nick,
show them the dedication of somebody on the defensive end.
We may have a Iggy.
What the dedication of defense look like?
Iggy will be an emergency player on the roster.
He won't make the team. I'll bet anybody Gilchrist don't make the team.
Oh no, I don't think Gilchrist gonna make it. I don't think he's gonna make it.
No way. He won't make the team. No way.
Hey, I was just gonna say one player that nobody has talked about, and do you think he could be a casualty? Is Reggie Bullock? Nobody's talking about.
Yes,
he could be one.
I think Reggie will make the team. Reggie will make the team.
He's here, so he will make the team.
Reggie will.
My thing is, if they were going to cut him, what was the point of them picking up his option?
I just told you. I just told you.
Trade him.
What option?
They picked up his option for this year.
Oh, he gonna make it.
Trade him. He's getting traded.
Kevin, the idea behind picking him up is for cap purposes. If they cut him by a certain point, it actually keep them from paying the
luxury jacks.
there's a line that they have to make to like 89 million or something like that.
Oh yeah,
That
they
have to make
got to
it.
spend so much.
And
And
they have-
yeah.
No, but here's no, because they're already still got $18 million. So it's not the fact that they have to get down to a certain amount of point, because that money doesn't matter.
They want Billups. He's a classic 3 and
Get up
3 and D.
to.
They want him.
To me, a person like Reggie Bullock is either going to be like trade bait to be packaged with
Yeah.
somebody.
But he gonna be on the team when that happens.
Yeah, he's going to make the roster.
That's all.
He's not
That's
gonna get
all we're
cut.
talking about.
Hey fellas, why we
He's partially-
talking about that, right? You know one thing I just thought about. Remember they said Tibbs wanted to move your boy Frank to the 2, right? Reggie plays the 2. So if he
It
gets
wasn't
Frank
good-
over to the 2 and
That
Frank
wasn't-
pops at the 2, what's gonna happen with Reggie? Because Frank will be the backup
That wasn't-
to RJ at the 2.
That wasn't confirmed.
Edgy,
That's rumor.
Hey,
no,
I
they
just-
ain't rumored.
That wasn't confirmed.
Okay,
And
I
I
like
just-
that one, Rob.
That's
Reggie
rumor.
And I
is
just-
technically
Reggie
a
will
3.
confirm a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? Hey, Guillermo, you know that. They ain't gonna confirm everything.
Bullock,
Hey, look,
his 2021
Right now,
One second,
I
Bullock.
heard that on one platform.
Hey, Bullock's contract is 2020.
You know what I'm talking about?
Bullock's contract this year is partially guaranteed for $1 million until this Saturday.
Uh-oh.
Who's that?
Reggie Bullock.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Train leaving
He'll be
Penn
here.
Station.
Well, but
I
you
think he'll
can't.
be here.
There was
He'll be here after Saturday.
the one thing that you're like kind of dismissing with Reggie Bullock. Like Reggie Bullock, we did a lot of good favor by having him here last year and paying him. His sister died. We
Yeah,
gave
that
him
was rough.
injured.
Yeah.
Like we did a lot of good things for him, and all that stuff changes the culture and the outlook of the team. Like we get favor with other agents because we do something good for their player. Like he would have been asked out, excuse my French, if he didn't get a contract with the Knicks, because he would have been injured and his sister got hurt, couldn't play, all that stuff. Like it plays a role. It's not just like this kid, we're just gonna make him walk or something like that. Like we would rather trade him, which makes sense. And to Kevin, there's a salary floor that we have to make it up to. It's not that we have to get down to a certain number. It's a floor that we have to get up to. We can't have too much cap space. That's something that the collective bargaining changed. If you don't spend enough money, then you get penalized. So you have to meet the floor of the cap space also.
Yeah.
And
It was,
Reggie Bullock,
hey, it was I read that incorrect. His salary will be from $1 million Saturday, but the way it was June 20. So he is guaranteed now for $4.2 million for this season.
yeah,
And like you were
already
saying,
guaranteed.
they got to
Yeah.
use up that money so they don't go below that threshold.
exactly. They have to do it. So they had to keep certain amount of players. They could cut all these guys that they just signed and re-sign them back, like Jacob Evans. They could sign them back. They're like all these guys, even though they get cut, they can still get picked back up. Like it's not just cut and dry. There's politics, but then also capology that's going on too.
I just think that Reggie is going to be on the team. Like I said, to me personally, like I said, there's a trade on the horizon, and we're going to wake up one day to a Woj bomb, and I mean, I don't know who it is, but I can guarantee. I don't know. I don't think this roster, as of today, is going to be the same roster it's going to be on December 23rd. Something in my soul is telling me that something is going to happen.
In your soul, who is it gonna be?
Huh?
In your soul, who are you gonna trade?
Who are they going to? Or is going to start with Randle?
Okay. For what or to who?
Oh, that I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Randle, I think is going to be a playoff deadline guy. You have to wait till some team is desperate enough to see if you could steal a first, right? A late first, right? Again, unlikely. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I think that's what. And again, Randle, I think would have some place in this offense. So to make him look better and to try to get something more for him versus, what you could probably get from now would be the smartest move.
Another
right?
Morris scenario.
Yeah, you're gonna try. You're gonna try.
Yeah, but for who? Like, we keep
I don't
saying trade him. Even DSJ, trade him, and they have no value. Like, what team wants an inefficient turnover?
Not Reggie Bullock. Julius Randle has value.
Julius Randle, I was thinking of him in the sense of like how Cantor, but I think we mentioned the other day, right? We mentioned a whole bunch of teams that wouldn't take him, and then we came with like one or two. Someone said the Hornets.
Okay, that's the only one. That's it.
Minnesota. I would love to see a Randle for like Rubio trade.
Minnesota. Okay, Kevin. Minnesota has a power forward right now.
Who?
Slash
Who is
center.
Minnesota? Who is that power forward?
Cat is a power forward.
Cat is a center.
No. Cat does not like playing center.
Carl Anthony Towns is a center. He is listed as a center.
Wasn't he like a 2-guard or something? Then had a growth spurt. Big Cat.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But Carl Anthony Towns is listed as a center. He plays center.
Yeah, he had a growth spurt. He wasn't originally always a center.
Okay. I'm gonna read you Minnesota's I'll find Minnesota's roster, but Cat doesn't like playing center. That's all those guys.
A center. He's a center. He can say how you something he's always done. Doesn't say I don't like tying my shoe.
Amani the Great said, "I'm in Minneapolis. I live here. I've been here. I've been to see Wolf games. Cat is a center. He loves taking advantage of the sloppy centers in the league. Cat is loved here, and he loved the position he plays.
Who is Juan Hernan Gomez?
Juan Hernan Gomez.
Billy Hernan Gomez's brother.
Starting power forward for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah, he was with us. He was with us at one time.
That's Willie Hernan Gomez.
Who was it, Willie?
No, that's Willie's brother.
Yeah, that's right.
That's his brother.
Well, he's a starting power forward for Minnesota. So I found a home for Julius Randle.
Right there. Hey, that's hey. And who will we get in return from Minnesota?
You also have to talk about playoff
Rubio.
Is that team a playoff team? Are the Minnesota Timberwolves a playoff team by the deadline?
With Julius
in the West?
With Julius?
No.
No. But I mean that you trying to fleece a playoff team that's desperate, right?
And it's 10 teams in the playoffs this year.
You need front court. Well, you need front court guy who can give you points down low, right? Kind of like a Cantor situation, right? And I'm not sure. Again, I think a first is a stretch. Marcus Morris more so because the Clippers do everything at the kitchen sink to, get into the, get deep in the playoffs. So they need a 3-and-D player. So Marcus Morris, and how Marcus Morris played. Julius Randle has to ball out this year for the Knicks. Here's
the thing about Minnesota. Minnesota has proven, and no, I'm not advocating that there's a trade on the horizon in Minnesota. I'm just saying that Minnesota has made moves to appease Carl Anthony Towns in the past. And if they're like a friend, because Minnesota could be a fringe playoff team, like, hey, Julius Randle can help get us over the top. They can look at him like Rasheed Wallace. I don't know why they would do that, but I'm just saying they could.
Hey, Nick, let me ask you a question.
Randle like Rasheed Wallace?
I said Minnesota could look at him.
Kevin,
if they do that, they need to be fired.
Don't mention the great Rasheed Wallace in the same vein.
They could be like, what Julius Randle can do for us. They could be thinking Julius Randle could do for us what Rasheed Wallace did to Detroit.
No,
let's bring him in.
Hey, Rasheed Wallace gonna come looking for you, Kevin.
Oh my God!
All online gonna come looking for you, man.
Hey Nick, let me ask you a question. Can you see Randle running the pinch post in the triangle?
Yes, I can.
If he dedicates himself to it, he can, right? And that's having a good synergy on the weak side, being able to set picks properly, making the proper pass, understanding where guys move. It also is going to take part on the other guys having on the strong side, making the right movements. But even he could play pinch post. He could also play what Boozer used to do. Some was it Boozer?
Yeah.
Where sometimes on the weak side, on the strong side, you saw Boozer not necessarily at the corner, but he'll go from. No, I've seen it one time. I've seen a play where he came from the corner, and then he snuck into the paint to kind of get that pass right at the post and just throw it up. But it's up to Randle. If Randle dedicates himself to that look, he can be excellent.
Hey, Tribero brought a good point. Hey, what does the Phoenix Suns lineup look like? Because he said Randle to the Suns.
But they got Jalen Smith. If he balls out, they probably won't.
Suns have.
For what?
They got Aiton. They got. Did they sign Baines?
He's better than Baines.
I think Dario
Baines
Saric
is better than Randle. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Baines is better than Randle.
Baines trash, man.
Baines is in Toronto.
Hold on.
Baines is in Toronto.
They got Jay Crowder.
Jay Crowder.
I think Dario Saric is probably going to be like that starting four.
Yeah, forward center, right?
As long as you don't say Darko Milicic.
Well, they got Aiden, so he's going to be a 4, like you said.
Yeah, it'll be Dario Saric more than likely.
And they also got Jalen Smith.
I'm taking Baines over Randle, dude. What are you doing?
And they also got Guillermo's boy, Jalen Smith.
Jalen Smith, that's my guy, man.
Hey, Legion.
They don't need
I'm a channel God of Moses right now. You capping, man.
I'm capping. For I take Aaron Baines over Julius. I'm a parallel 30 billion times into traffic random, bro.
I mean, really,
I ain't gonna get y'all riled up, man. Hey, Julius, 193 turnovers, Randle. Hey, man.
Baines, D. Jones is right, though. Baines is on the Raptors right now.
Oh, he's on the Raptors? Oh, okay. I think
So who is the Phoenix Suns power forward?
It's Saric, really.
Dario Saric?
You got Jay Crowder.
It's probably Saric. Well, I
tell you what, I wish they'd be nice enough to send us Jay Crowder. We'll send them Randle.
I'm telling you, it's either going to be Minnesota or Utah. Those are the two teams.
Utah re-signed Derek Favors, though, so I don't think they bring back.
But Derek Favors is more like a backup at this point in his career, at this point in time.
Yeah, but what's Randle?
You're trying to be crazy.
But here's no lie, and this is giving Julius Randle.
Can I give him a little bit of credit?
Yeah, look at you. You want to try?
I give him a little bit of. Hey, God,
Kevin, did you want to say credit? Were you going to give?
I was going to say respect.
Respect.
This is me giving Julius Randle his respect.
Oh man. You give me keep it,
man. Oh my gosh. Yo.
He's not a legit. He's a legit starter at the power man. He is.
But when you look at that roster on Utah, that is a team that looks, when you look at the power forward position, that could take a Julius. They're
who's power forward?
They got on the
Royce O'Neal, is it?
He's 6'4", though.
Oh,
I don't even know who that is.
My bad. I'm trying to get a line of what Gobert, Ingles. Oh, Bogdanovich is coming back. Ingles plays the 4. How big is?
It's probably Mitchell.
Ingles
Bogdanovich,
6'7".
Gobert.
Like the 3, but you have Bogdanovich, you have Conley there for 1 year. So
here's the thing. So let's say you trade DSJ and Julius for Mike Conley.
Sign me up. Sign me up. I'll take Mike Conley, man.
Because Mike Conley is a better version of what Elfrid Payton will give you.
Exactly.
I'll take Conley in a number 1.
Wait.
Yeah.
If you better sit here and tell me that you'd rather have Elfrid Payton than Mike
Conley.
Conley.
I think what he's trying to say is that why would you give
for 1 year?
Hold on, Kev. You're saying a playoff team that has aspirations of going past the second round is going to choose to take Elfrid Payton over Mike Conley.
No, I didn't say Elfrid. No, I said DSJ. I said DSJ.
Don't.
Here's it. No, this is why, and I'm looking at this objectively. If I'm Utah, I brought Mike Conley in to
you don't fit that team
to play off, to have the ball in his hand, to set up Spider.
Yes.
But we all conceded that didn't work out the way they wanted it to.
Yeah, he don't.
Donovan Mitchell is one player that needs the ball in his hands.
Okay.
The regular season wasn't that good in Utah system for Mike Conley. He kind of played better in the bubble.
Wait,
but I think everybody played better in the bubble. It's just a better
Before the
atmosphere.
season was done, Mike Conley was averaging 24 points. It's not like there were points in time where he averaged like 24 points for that team. It's not like the guy's a scrub. He had good moments. Year 2, they're gonna have better continuity. It's not like
I give you that. I give you that.
the kid. It's Mike Conley. He's a veteran guard. We just talked about trading for Chris Paul months ago.
When Conley was Conley an all-star player at one point?
He's never been an all-star.
He's been right on the cusp.
No,
I think he's been right on the cusp every time.
I think Mike Conley Jr. has been an all-star at least
No,
once.
he's never been an all-star. Never, ever been an all-star.
He has he's a free agent next year, so it's just a one-year gig.
That's the key thing. I'll take $34 million for 1 year.
And he's only 33 years old.
Okay, but why the hell would Utah say, I want Julius Randle instead of Mike Conley?
You know why? Because they can flip Conley and get something for him. That's the reason why. Business.
And they may also think Conley wise.
Hey, I'm going to tell you like Wesley Snipes said in New Jack City. It's business, never personal.
It ain't personal.
What's that mean? No.
But here's the thing. This is the thing. Julius Randle can score the ball.
You can.
In the low post. Rudy Gobert is not really an offensive player.
They can take pressure off a spider.
Okay, guys. You just mentioned Mike Conley was brought in to move Spider off ball and make his game easier, right? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Giving him up for a guy that can't shoot in Elfrid Payton because you got to match the salary.
I'm not saying Elfrid Payton. I never said Elfrid Payton.
Hold on, Kevin. That's not what I'm saying. You have to make the salaries match.
No, you don't.
How?
Because we have $18 million in salary cap.
Okay, you're right. I'm wrong on that one. You give up Julius Randle straight up for Mike Conley.
I said Julius Randle and someone like DSJ. I'm giving them DSJ also.
Okay. What the hell does that do for a team? Playoff team? That makes it worse.
Why are... Hold on, let me
wait. Let me tell you a rule that I have. If I don't want the player, why the hell would the other team look at the player I don't want and want that player too?
Maybe they can use him in a better position than what the previous team did.
So I guess now we're talking about where Randle would fit as being traded, right? You know, it just popped in my head. I started thinking about send him on over there to Houston with John Wall.
That's not bad.
Send him down there.
Hold on. How is that not bad? And Houston's a playoff team.
Because they don't have
Continuity with John Wall.
They don't have a big man besides Christian Wood.
But who does Utah have it for? Royce O'Neal?
I mean, you have Rudy Gobert.
He's a center. You need more than
anyone
one person in the
a
front
pure
court.
5, it's Rudy.
You need
I mean, he
somebody
can
else.
fit in Houston now.
You need somebody else in the front court.
And think about it. We've been known to do deals with Houston too.
Houston might make it work because they don't really have, like, right now they're in a weird state of like flux. Right? They don't really know what to do with Harden. They might try to put talent around and say, "Hey, Harden, look, we're getting you guys, we're getting you help, blah blah blah." And you know, they're more of a franchise in disarray than the Utah Jazz. Like, to Nick's point, you need Conley to take the ball out of Donovan Mitchell's hands to make him a lot more effective, right? They're not going to tinker around with that playoff team by getting a point guard who can't space the floor. Remember the playoffs, they had issues spacing the floor. No one can hit a shot but Donovan. Go back to those playoffs game. No one can hit a shot. Ingles couldn't even hit a shot. So I don't think taking a guy like Conley and then bringing a guy like Elfrid Payton, who really can't hit a shot, is going to benefit them whatsoever. This makes absolutely no sense.
I tell you what, Nick G.
I
I
don't know
tell
why
you
you
what,
want to
more
add
and more I
Alfred
think
Payton
about
because I
Randall.
continually said DSJ.
No, I get it.
More and more I think about Randall to Houston.
Yeah.
You can package Randall and DSJ to Houston. Randall can be that insurance. I mean, DSJ can be that insurance policy in case John Wall blows out that knee or something.
No, the only reason I said Utah and Minnesota is because they have something in return that we actually need in Mike Conley and or Ricky Rubio. Because Minnesota doesn't need Ricky Rubio. They technically can. Russell can play the point,
Yep.
so they don't need Ricky Rubio. They could use Julius Randle. That's why I think Minnesota.
How much is Rubio making?
Probably the same amount, like 18.
17, I think 17.5 or something like that.
It would be a straight up trade. And I like the idea of trading for Ricky Rubio. It's just that you're still pairing a guy who can't play defense with another guy who can't play defense. I don't see it.
Yeah, about 17 this year and 17.8 next year.
I tell you what, we done flirted a lot with trying to get Rubio, and he ain't never pulled the trigger on him.
Yeah, I want the Knicks to get Rubio. I want the Knicks to get some.
Yeah, I want them
Rubio
to-
is literally the kind of point guard that will set up an offense. That's literally what he does.
He runs it now. He will run it.
And he wasn't. I don't remember the stats, but I think he wasn't putrid from three last year. If I remember.
His
He
three ball
started
has gotten a
getting
lot
better
better.
over his career.
Yeah, his three ball has gotten better as he's gotten older, especially him hitting in the corner three.
Hi, dog. I ain't know Tyson Chandler was still in the league.
I don't think him being on the bench in warm-ups is him being in the league still.
Hey, he on Udonis Haslam status.
Come on.
He's taking the J.R. Smith role on the bench.
Tyson Chandler had some purpose, man. Some type of purpose.
Yeah, rooting the rest of the team on when they come out the floor and time out.
Oh, come on, man. Come on. He was a Nick one.
Shot 30% from three, 86% from the foul line.
Who?
Rube.
Oh, Rubio, yeah. Rubio's solid, man.
Somebody call Leon Rosenzweig to bring him in right now.
That's one.
Get Rubio.
That's what
Go get Eric Gordon.
That's what messed up with the Knicks, man. I think we should have been aggressive in trying to get not throw a crazy bag, but some type of bag to get some type of stability at the point guard position for at least, I mean, like a guy like Rondo. And honestly, Rondo's not going to give you more than 25 minutes, right? I mean, this guy's getting older. His body's breaking out a little bit, but just to give us some stability, a guy who can actually run a system, facilitate, get guys in proper position. I think that would have been important for Thibodeau, given the shortened season or the shortened preseason, the lack of time to truly, teach these guys, train them up. I wish they would have went after a proper point guard. But
Hey, somebody Bodega brought up a good point. He said, didn't Tibbs ship Rubio out of Minnesota? Or was he gone before that?
was that
No, he
what
shipped him
the
out.
trade?
Did he trade Rubio?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
But Rubio had his best season ever as a pro under Tibbs.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's all about fit. You know what I mean? And what he was looking to get back in that trade.
Yeah, because
Fort Butler. So
yeah, it was right.
Yeah, you're
before
right.
It was right before Butler.
it was right before Butler.
Yeah,
Oh wow. Oh wait. Because Zach when he went to the Bulls. My bad. Oh damn. Damn, he did have his best season on the Tibbs. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe. Do you think Tibbs has? What point guard do you think is going to succeed on the Tibbs?
It's a good question.
Going to blossom. Let me see. Like someone,
Quickly.
You say
Quickly.
Quickly's more like a. He's.
There's no more such thing as a point guard no more.
Quickly reminds me of
Combo
Kirk Heinrich.
today.
He's not really.
Quickly reminds me of Kirk Heinrich on that Bulls team. And he flourished under Tibbs.
And he's a student of the game. He just needs to be in the right spot.
And plays hard. I mean, he is a mirror image to Kirk Heinrich.
That 6'8" wingspan is disruptive.
Yeah, I think. just skill wise, not metrics. What do you call them? Like, I think it'd be a better defender than Kirk Heinrich.
Yeah.
It could be. Let me not say he is, but he could be.
And another reason why Guillermo, I say he would flourish under Tibbs, because he haven't had a chance to be contaminated by no other coaches. He's coming into the league fresh out of college, so you know what I mean?
I think Tibbs is going to lean on some of these younger kids as the season progresses if they hit a certain role, man. That's what I'm scared about with Knox and all these guys, because they may have high ceilings, but – and I was trying to ask this before. Now, you guys might kill me. When you guys give me one discernible skill that if I say, yo, Knox, I need you to do such and such, whatever your skill is, this is the fourth quarter, about 5 seconds left on the clock, I need you to do this. Like whether it's a shut down a guy, hit that important three, get to a spot on the mid-range and hit it, drive to the basket, beat his man. What's a discernible go-to skill that Knox has?
Catch and shoot.
That we've seen it done at a proficient rate. I'm not just saying what he can do, and we've seen spurts. I'm talking about a proficient rate for say his age or whatever. Where it's like, yo, he's hit it at like 35%, 36%, or whatever. I'm thinking of threes, obviously, but
now my question is this: why does he have to do one thing great?
No. What I'm trying to say is that I'm trying to find something where Tibbs will rely on him, because I think Tibbs is a guy who likes people who can do a certain skill, right? And then obviously the game expands, right? Like Butler, play really good defense, and then they expand his role, right? And that's what I'm trying to project for Knox, because, look, I mean, is there a dirt at the three position? Yes. So Knox will have at least a look. He's definitely going to have a look, right? But as the season progresses, right, and the system kind of materializes, right, if Knox is not starting, right, where do you see Knox fit in? Because I don't think Tibbs is going to just feature Knox to feature for feature's sake if he's not beating out other competition. So then that means he has to come in and
now my whole thing is this, and this is how I look at it, because I don't look at Knox in just a vacuum as what can Knox do. I look at it as how can Knox play off of everyone else who he's playing with.
Well, that's your role, right? You're fitting a role, right?
Yeah, so I'm not saying what can Knox do. I'm saying, as in what can Knox do by himself. I'm saying what can Knox do with everyone else. Like what can Knox and RJ do together? Like can they play off each other? Can their strengths work off each other?
Well,
and then you add in like Obi Toppin. Could those three players play off each other to where it's not like this is what you do, this is what you do, this is what you do. Is what can you all do together?
Well, RJ, don't you think that his strength is going to the hole, and Knox would be stronger in spacing from the three?
And that's my whole thing, because everyone keeps saying RJ needs spacing. But the thing about it is Knox is that shooter. And regardless of what the numbers were, and I think I brought this up like my first time on here, was people still, for some reason, respect. Now, like, who was it that said he doesn't have a good first step, but people still bite at his shot because people respect him for some odd reason to where you still have to bite on it, which means that people think that Knox is a shooter, which he is. Yeah, the numbers don't necessarily all the time support it, but that's who he is.
Yeah, and RJ last year, 40% of his shots were from 0 to 3 feet.
And so if you look at it, can RJ and Knox complement each other?
I think so.
And so that build your game plan around, not saying that your two best players, but if you're saying that this is the core, these few players are the core, then build your game plan around what they can do together.
Yeah. Hey, chat, thanks so much. We just keep on hitting that subscribe and reminder bell. Support our Freezy. Thank you. Hey, I know just as maybe a little aside, but did you guys check out Cade Cunningham's
Yes.
OMG, man. This is a really special player, man.
Yes.
I know it's only a couple of games in, but this kid did you see him shooting with either hand?
Bro.
Some guy, one thing is being 3 feet out and going with the left hand. He took he shot from like from right by the foul line with his left hand one shot. Either hand, beautiful stroke. He hit foul shots, no look passes. At the end of the game, he hit foul shots to win the game. He's the total package, this kid.
Did you see the shimmy he did against ORU?
Oh my God, that behind the back.
Did the shot from the baseline. It's like, let me say a thing about Kate Cunningham, because I think people they'll watch his game and be like, what's so special about him, right?
Oh, he's special, man.
I'm not trying to overhype him up. Is that when you see him play and how he gets space against the defenders, is not through speed. He plays off of your missteps, right?
And effortlessly.
Very high level, right? And it's almost cerebral to it's like his mind is like in tune so much with his body that it's like a big brain operating whenever he moves. Like he moves with a purpose to get you off balance, to catch you, right? Where if he gets a pick and roll, this is where he's going to be very deadly. When they run pick and rolls from the NBA, he's going to be nasty because he plays off of your over aggression when you're trying to reset on the pick and roll. I saw with UT Arlington. I saw with I saw a little bit of Oakland. I would say is probably his. I would say his weakest, but not like as overly impressive. Oakland came out and they were trying to kill OK State, but then you saw him hit. He hit 3 big threes. Like I mean, NBA level in your face threes, where it's like, yo, this dude has no fear. He's unconscionable. Like he operates at his own flow, right? So to me, yeah, that game is against ORU, 29 points. I mean, he's nasty. The only thing I'll say though, I want to see him play against, and I'm going to be covering these games because he's going to be playing against Texas Tech and Texas, I believe, in a few days. And
he's going up against his first-ranked teams in the next few weeks and then into January. So we'll see him against better competition.
Exactly. And he's not playing with much talent because I did a video where I compared him and Suggs. Suggs is playing on a stacked team. So that Gonzaga team is stacked. But Kate ain't. The only thing I'll say about Kate so far that I don't like, some of the takes he takes to the basket, I can see in the NBA those being a lot, better contested. Because sometimes he just tries to use his body to overpower guys, and it's not as clean as you would like it. And also his defense to me is like he's not as worried about on defense. Jalen Suggs, on the other hand, defensively,
he's a dog.
He is an effing dog. He's gonna get in you, man. He's gonna he helps out on defense, active hands, disruptive. But again, he plays on a stacked team. That team, there's another kid from Gonzaga that I'm telling you guys to look at, Andrew Nembhard.
Nembhard, yep.
Nembhard, Andrew Nembhard, 19 points against West Virginia. I think he had 13 points in the first game. I would say the only thing that's not great is his shooting so far. It hasn't been that great as outside shooting. But that guy, I'm telling you, Jalen Suggs is a beast. But yeah, Kate Cunningham, that game yesterday, bro. I know Nick wants to say something because me and Nick been talking about it. And Nick has been gushing about Kate. Look at his face. He came out high with excitement. Look at him.
6'8".
He should be ashamed of himself.
That's a big boy, man.
I've been talking about Kate Cunningham since 2 years ago.
This guy, Nick. Nick, every time we talk about Kate, he's like, yo, bro. This one podcast, they've been talking about Kate since like 9 years ago, bro. I'm like, thanks, bro. All right. He said, yo, this draft, they talking about Zion. Oh, Zion is cute. That's fine. Kate Cunningham, but now. It's like you watch him, right? And it's like, I want to hate on, I just want to pick on things where you just want to hate and be like, got him. He's not going to be good at this. And I'm watching like, damn, I can see him be good. Because the first game, he reminded me of a smarter C.J. McCollum. C.J. McCollum is not the most explosive player. But for some reason, he's always ahead of his defender when driving to the – it's like, how does he get angles on players, right? And I think with Kate is that –
he's slick.
I watched the ORU game, he did a shimmy on the baseline, right? And you looking at it, it's like, that's not fast at all. I could defend that. Yeah. But see where he did the shimmy. It wasn't I'm in front of the guy, shimmy. It was like he knew the guy, he caught the guy off balance, shimmy, took the one dribble and shot the shot. I'm like, yo, that's NBA level thinking right there.
You know, it's crazy, Guillermo. Like I told you, I haven't been watching no college stuff. So while you was talking about him, right? I'm sitting there on my other screen looking at him, and he looked real cerebral.
That's
And what I'm looking at, what's scary is I'm looking at his number for a freshman. 50% on field goals through 5 games played. 47% from the 3-point line. That's sick.
Nick was showing off the throne.
Look at Nick. Nick is so high.
That's scary. And then dude, 6'8". 6'8".
6'8", bro. You know who else to look out for? Josh Christopher.
Josh Christopher. Who
Yes. That's my guy,
bro.
bro.
What are we saying?
That is my guy.
6'5" Donovan Mitchell.
Oh,
Josh Christopher.
Yeah,
that's my guy.
Arizona State.
I don't know, man. This draft is stupid, man. This draft is absurd, man.
I want to, and I was just looking at something and kind of switch the subject. So as y'all know, ESPN has dropped their top 100 players. They haven't released the top 10 yet. So out of 11 through 100, there's one Nick.
Mitchell Robinson at 97. Yeah.
Mitchell Robinson is the only Nick. Actually, no, he's 92.
Oh, 92, my bad.
The 92nd best player in the NBA is Mitchell Robinson, which is surprisingly, and again, I guess this is giving Julius Randle some kind of respect. That Julius Randle didn't make the top 100 players.
Hey, you better not say that too loud. God of Moses gonna pop up on you.
Oh.
That's the grand prize winner today, ladies.
There's not much hate you could give for a team that ranked like that's like the worst team, and they had some of the worst players in the NBA. Like that's proper. We suck.
You know how you can tell Randall's value really to this team? If we were to take a poll from all Knicks fans, and word came out tomorrow, they said they're gonna trade Randle. You think anybody gonna be crying? The overwhelming majority of Knicks fans?
I'm looking at the list though, and it's like, is Randle better than Jarrett Allen?
No.
Yeah, he better than Allen, man. Allen is just Allen. You know what it is? Allen defense, and that's what you look at. But offensively, his offensive game compared to Julius is trash. Defense, Julius defense.
Jarrett Allen's defense impacts the game more than.
That's what I'm going to say, Guillermo. Then on the flip side of that coin, Julius Randle's defense compared to Jarrett Allen's defense is trash. So it just depends on which you value more. Do you value defense or you value offense? What you need from them players? Man, y'all talk about this Josh Christopher kid. You talk about for Arizona State?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
No, this is sick. This is really sick, man. This is video game. This is ridiculous.
Go see his game against Cal.
2 games played, 27 minutes, 67.9% shooting from the field,
bro.
50% from 3-point land.
Ron, forget about the percentages. Look at the myriad of ways in which he scores. That's what I'm asking you to do.
I'm about to pull up his highlights right now and take a look at it.
And tell me that's not a tall Donovan Mitchell. This Brook can hit the 3. The way he hits his mid range, it's not like this cute little way. Let me take one step. It's like, let me catch this dude. Bam, got him.
And I'm gonna tell you what I like that Cunningham kid from what I just seen about him.
Cunningham is nice too. Go watch Jalen Suggs too, man. Jalen Suggs, I think everybody's gonna fall point guard wise. Yo, wait, Nick, did you see Scotty Barnes tonight?
Scotty Barnes? No. I didn't watch any Scotty Barnes games. I gotta I'm clearing my schedule for 1 week, and I'm gonna just consume games and highlights. The thing is, the one thing I gotta say about this draft, this is the first draft I could say the top 5 players all play defense.
Oh, that's lovely.
That's lovely. Top 5? Wait, who's top 5? Who's top 5? Kate
at least my top 5 that I have Kate Cunningham.
Kate doesn't play defense. What?
Okay, when he wants to play defense, he does lock.
That's different. Okay, that's different, man. Come on. All right, who's the rest of you?
Okay, but he's winning so high, he doesn't have to put that foot all the time. He
hasn't played anyone yet.
Yeah, exactly. When he does have to play defense, he plays.
Well, but hold on. when they played Oak, I watched that Oakland game on Saturday. Oakland was kicking their butts for most of that game. Hit a shot. There's one dude who had 30-some points from Oakland. I think it was number 1. He hit how many threes?
Yeah,
They was not playing. That was not a cheap game. They were, but they not saying they're going to lose it, but that was a touch and go game where it's like, yo, they might be sleeping, and Oklahoma State didn't have an answer for them. So hey, as much as I like Cade defensively, I've not been impressed, man. I've seen him get blocks and stuff where it's like he puts an effort, but go watch him when he has to go and track his man. Many times he's lost. Many times he's like, oh crap, he's recovering. He's not really in tune on defense like that yet. But again, I'll give him the credit that he's their offense, so he has to conserve energy. I'll give him that credit.
One of our favorite people in the chat, Payback Carter, is doing a shout out for Evan Mobley.
Evan Mobley, that's another one. Like Evan Mobley plays defense, even though he's skinny and undersized. Like the kid that has effort,
and he has the tools, man. And when he matures, he's going to be a monster.
Like right now, he has a post game and a jump shot. It's 2 things that we begging Mitch to have.
You know who might be the nastiest in this draft if he gets like the right coaching, but I'm scared to take a chance on him. Brandon Boston.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, he's played like shit, man.
No, but he has
the tool.
He has tools. He's very tool. It's like you have to work on his game, though. You know, he would recommend
another Duke.
Brandon Boston's gonna be the guy that he's gonna be like Brandon Ingram. He's gonna go team. They're gonna trade him for somebody or let him go, and then like his second contract, if he gets like that right, like a good team that probably develops him. Everyone's gonna be like, damn, I would give him a offer sheet because that dude is a beast. You see the skill with him. I just feel like that team is so improperly developed. Like they're losing. Like you see Brandon pressing at times, and the thing with Brandon is that team doesn't really have shooters like that, right? So a lot of people are clogging up the lane, and his strength is driving to the basket, so he can't really even develop. And that there's no proper spacing for him. And you got 3 other freshmen playing on the starting lineup: Askew, Jackson, and Clark. And I think Clark went off the other night for like 20-some points or something like that. So Brandon, again, he might drop and go like to a contender where he can slowly develop, or like a fringe contender, slowly develop a shot, which is inconsistent, by the way, and also give a damn on defense because he can't. It's not that he doesn't want. It's just he's just like defensively. He's defensively inept, but he has the tools. He has this draft is annoyingly good, man.
If you see Brandon in the interviews, my God, is he a tot? He is a young kid.
Oh yeah, he has the freaking Jerry curls in it. Yeah, this dude is freaking. He's a baby.
I wanted to throw it out there that my prediction the other night was 29 wins this season for the Knicks, and if we're in that range, we're going to get a good. But do you think that we would trade our assets to get an established player, or do you think we would trade after taking like somebody, God willing, like a Jalen, use our assets to move up and take somebody like in the G League that was brought up a Kuminga or somebody that would be dropping to a 10 or 11 or whatever, and using our assets to move up from the Mavs pick to grab a guy like that next year?
Well, like this, the Mavs might. If the look, KP's not coming back, right?
He's coming back. He won't start the season off.
Right.
Yeah, 2021.
He probably missed about 30 games this year.
Right. My bad. So Luka, I'm not praying for anybody's injury or anything. Luka might. And someone made this point the other night. Luka might press and could possibly not be playoff Luka, like everybody saw. It's fine if you games before they got. So God forbid he gets injured, but that's a possibility. Him pressing too much. And again, they may just not be that good this season. As good as Luka may be, you know what I'm saying? That pick, I'm not saying it goes into the lottery, but in the 20s, maybe you package, like you said, maybe some of your seconds and move up. But again, this is a draft where people may be reluctant to move up. I mean, to move down.
I like this Christopher kid, man.
If you get entrenched at a nice spot, we could draft. Think about this. Nick made this point the other night. When we were talking, Jalen Green might fall because he's not getting G. No one's saying that he might be the best player, so-called best player, even though I think he's relatively raw. I don't like the high school hype, But a guy like Jalen Green goes to, oh my lord, I don't know. I don't think about teams like the Nuggets. I'm thinking like him becoming like another Jamal Murray type of. But yeah, a guy like Jalen Green could fall, and he might be this draft is just
It's stupid deep.
something has to be wrong. It doesn't make sense, man. How good
You gotta, and this is something that I wanted to talk to you on your show about. But this draft, you gotta realize, a lot of people now are like on that level where they grew up watching Steph Curry win MVPs.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And this, like, because RJ, like guys from like 2 years ago, like Donovan Mitchell, they grew up on Kobe.
Right.
They grew up on Paul Pierce, like ISO guys.
Mid-range, yep.
Mid-range. And then you got to look at the effect of LeBron on guys like Brandon, on RJ. Like RJ is a prototypical 3-3 that would probably just shoot a mid-range jumper historically and stuff like that. But then he starts adding point guard skills and bully ball skills like LeBron. You could tell the effect of certain players on these guys. Like Kevin Durant is influencing some of these bigs.
Jalen Green's game looked like Kevin Durant to me.
That's another one. Kevin, you have a bunch of tall 6'8", 6'9"
Exactly.
guys who grew up watching KD. Like, oh crap, I'm a big guy who doesn't really have back to the basket skills, and I don't want to develop that. But
Nobody has any more.
skill.
It's a lost skill.
And a lot of guys who obviously have these growth spurts, right? Who they're developing as guards anyway. They grow up to
Exactly
6'3" to 6, 8, 9 or whatever, and it's like finally got it.
Hey, I'm telling y'all right now, Guillermo, Nick G, fellas in this chat, everybody, I'm looking at these young fellas, man. If I'm a GM, my number one pick, I'm getting Jalen Green. Period. From what I've just seen for these,
He's explosive, man.
Ron, you know what's the funny part?
And from what I've seen, you can't go wrong with the other two guys neither. It ain't no precipitate. It ain't no crazy drop off.
That's the point. It's 5 stars deep in this draft. 5.
If
ever there was a year that the Knicks could fall and be the worst team in the league, I don't say we should tank, but we should tank. And
Nick, we can't talk that T word no more, man. That's out of the vocabulary.
Win as many games and play Julius Randle as many games as possible to get the number 1 overall pick. Is that better?
Yeah,
that's better. But you know what's gonna happen here, Nick? I'm going on record. I'm going on record.
Like Moses.
Hey, I'm going on record and say this year. What I think gonna happen with us is we gonna have a great year. We might get 30. I'm thinking 30 wins, but if we get 35, that's great too. But if I got a feel we're going to have a very good season and we're going to get a high draft pick. Thanks to Dallas and our pick. We're going to package our one and Dallas one and we're going to jump up.
Your boy Joe Jews in the chat just brought up Chet Holmgren, man. Me and Nick were talking about Chet Holmgren too, man. Chet Holmgren scares me, man. He's a dog, but I don't see it, man. In the game I watched him play against Imani Bates.
Yeah.
Chet Holmgren is a dog, but I feel like once he gets to, because he doesn't have fast twitch. Like Imani Bates got fast twitch.
Yeah.
But
Imani Bates is a dog. Just dog, nasty dog.
Yeah, he's a dog, but Chet don't got fast twitch like that. He has like a very slow but effective because he can take up a lot of space when he's driving, right? Like he takes long steps and he has like little, change of pace skills where it's like you wouldn't expect it from like a tall, skinny kid like that, lanky, but he's very slow twitch. Now, if he develops an outside shot now and maybe a little post up, I think then I'll say, all right, he has, hope. He's a dog though. He's a dog because I remember I forgot what Nick put me on some podcast and they were saying something like reporters like, oh yeah, you're blah 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 with Imani Bates or something. I think it was like a post game something like that, trying to egg him on. He was like, yo, I grown up with a mom who's like 90 years old, and my sister has like muscular dystrophy, something like that. He's like,
like I've been born a dog or something like that. Like, don't mess with me. Like this dude has like he wants to kill you, but the skill, I don't know, man. The skill.
Hey, but I'm gonna tell y'all, fellas, it ain't far fetched to think that Dallas pick, for obvious reason, we know KP out. But this is the thing: no team in the West can afford to come out the gate slow.
That's true.
It's too deep.
Sure.
You mess around and go on a losing streak, and your season gonna be over real quick.
Yeah.
And then coming to the East to play. The East ain't no cakewalk no more neither.
Nope.
So you can mess around and got you about a 10 loss real quick and be looking up at everybody else in your division. So Dallas, man, hey, everybody, I know Luka is great. Don't get me wrong. We know he's great. But ain't no one player gonna dominate in that in that West to say they're gonna carry their team to the playoffs by themselves. I don't care even if LeBron was by himself without 80. It ain't happening out West.
Ron, I want to magnify your point. So the way the league is that you're not gonna travel as often, right? So it's kind of like playoff games. Mm-hmm. So you're gonna play all your games against basically one team or one region at once. So like for us, if we play a bunch of games against like the Nets, we lose, the majority of them, 4 games against
maybe 3 out of 4, yeah.
So imagine Dallas going to LA and just losing all of them.
Sweet. That's a sweep.
Travel to Phoenix, who is on a hot streak or something like that.
And they might split with Phoenix.
And then go to Minnesota and get beat by Minnesota because Minnesota flying. Like the losses on some teams might pile up quick. And the only way Dallas keeps this pick is if it's in the top 4. That's the only way they keep this pick.
Yeah. Hey, a quick shout out to our mods, the greatest mods in the world, Sima and Bodega. Bodega just sent that we're 5 likes away from 100, so please smash that button. Hey, Nick, before you got to lay down and stretch out that back, I got to ask you a question. By any chance, there was a kid who was a UCLA commit, and he changed his mind and went to the G League, Deshaun Knicks. I watched this kid. I think he's the most cerebral, best passing point guard out of everyone that we talked about. This kid is serious. We just talked on a rookie Rubio. Deshaun Knicks doesn't have the explosive moves that a lot of, but the kid has something. He has that it factor of knowing somebody. So if you get a chance, do you know him first of all?
I heard them talk about him, but see, like Deshaun Knicks. Okay, I don't know Deshaun Knicks specifically, but I do know about Jalen Green, right? And I think the same thing. I want to look up his agency, but Jalen Green's agency, guess who?
Don't say CAA.
Oh, okay. Well, you must have read my mind.
Oh Lord, that'll be our first shot pick.
Imagine if Jalen Green falls, and remember, I said this to Guillermo last night.
Right in our lap.
No. Wes was the last person to sign. He had to be working on something. That's all I'm gonna say. He was working on something for CAA before he signed with the Knicks. I just feel like he's been working behind the scenes on something.
And I brought up Deshaun because I'm looking at him as the Mavs pick, obviously not our top pick. But if we take a wing or we take a Mobley because it's just too good to be true at that spot, there may be some other things for our point guard down the list if we can't get a Suggs and we can't get a Cade.
And you know what else, fellas? That's why it's so important for our team to really take a step this year. Yeah. Because if we get one of these guys via Dallas, and even let's say Dallas have a decent season, they get into the playoffs. We still got their first round pick, and we got ours. We can package that thing and move up if we need to move up.
Yep.
And that's why these young guys, like I said, Kevin Knox, Dennis Smith Jr., Frank Ntilikina, any 3 of them guys take off, we just need one of them to go with Obi. We know Obi gonna do great, and we know RJ gonna do great. So you have one of them other younger guys step up, man. Now you got your third man, and everything else is just gonna be gravy because quickly going. I ain't even worried about quickly. That kid, I'm not worried about him.
Yeah,
You don't forget how to shoot. That's one thing.
Yeah,
You
he's
can shoot
already
well,
a
well,
elite talent.
well, Dennis Smith and
well,
Kevin.
you know what happened to Dennis though. Hot dog, man. It was a lot. It's really a lot to unpack with him, man. I mean, think about it. You get drafted by.
Oh man.
I mean, really think about the whole situation. He thought he was coming to New York initially. You get drafted by Dallas. You have a great a great rookie campaign. Then the next year they draft basically your replacement, unbeknownst to them, and they ship you out of town. Now all this stuff happened with your family and stuff. It was a lot for that kid to take, man. It was a lot. So, but hey, you still got to be a professional. It's your job. You get paid to play basketball. I ain't making no excuse for him, but it is what it is.
Yeah. I do feel like, see, the thing is, I just said that we actually at the cusp of just what Steph Curry did to this league. And there's a lot of skilled guys out there that also play defense. Like some of them better than others. Like Jalen Suggs, I'll be happy with Jalen Suggs, man. I'll be happy with Deshaun Knicks. But we got 2 picks and we got 2 second-round picks.
A lot of draft power.
I think you froze up, Nick. I knew his back is about to go out.
You know, I missed a lot, but you know, my this is my thing. I don't look at the draft until at least 30 games. No, 20 games into the season, you kind of have a feel of how the season is going to go. I mean, there could be winning streaks, there could be losing streaks, but you know, the first 20 games will kind of dictate. Like if we're 5-15, like, oh, well, let me go ahead and start looking at this draft. But if we're like, you know, 10-10 or 11-9,
bouncing around that 500 mark.
yeah, or 11-9, then you know, I think that you know there's a sense that okay, you know, we might be able to hang in this for a while. We might be able to, you know, steal some wins, make a little run. Because you know everybody's talking about. I looked at the schedule, and everyone's like, "Oh, we play a lot of road games. The first 30, because you know they only released like the first 36 games." But I think if I'm not mistaken, it's like a 19-17 split. So it's like 19 road games and 17. So it's not like it's a big difference. Like everyone made it out to be like, "Oh, we playing now." Yeah, we go on like a 5, 6, or 7 game road stretch. But it's not like we playing, you know, 30 games on the road in the first 36 or anything like that. It's still pretty evenly close. What will benefit us as a whole is when we are at home. And this is sad. This is actually sad when you think about it. When we're actually home, there won't be any fans. And that actually might be a benefit for some of these players.
I've been saying that all along, man.
And
Kevin Knox jumped to the top of my list with that.
And like I said, that might be sad to think about it, that they might play better without fans in the stands, but it is what it is. So I don't think we're going to get. And but the Tibbs will happen. The thing about it is preparation matters. Tibbs is going to have us prepared to play. He's going to have a game plan for us to follow. And as long as the players execute that plan, we're not going to be like Cleveland is going to be bad. Cleveland is one of those teams like, you know, Cleveland is going to be bad. Kevin Love doesn't even want to be in Cleveland. But his contract is, as we've learned this last week, there's no such thing as an untradeable contract, as we found out. But thank you, Danny Landis. But Kevin Love doesn't want to be there. That tells you how bad Cleveland is. We don't know how good Atlanta's going to be. We think they'd be better. We think they'd be good. They had
Yeah, everybody look good on paper.
This is true. There's teams that we think are going to be good and might not. Like, I think Toronto's going to take a big step back.
That loss of Ibaka going to loom big.
Like, and people like the loss of Marc Gasol, who was still their defensive anchor, who was still probably, other than Jokic, probably the best passing center in basketball. Losing him is going to be tremendous. They're probably not, like I said, they're going to take a step back.
And then not only that, your boy going to have the pressure of living up to that contract he just signed too.
FVV.
Van Vliet.
Yeah.
And let's see who else is in it. I don't think Brooklyn's going to run away with a lot of wins, especially if they're
Brooklyn. I'm going to tell you right now, man, that team is not going to stay healthy. Kyrie and KD is not going to stay healthy for the whole season.
Exactly.
I hate to bust any Brooklyn Nets fans' heart, but it ain't happening. Normally, if you're injured, being injured all the time don't mean all of a sudden you're going to be healthy all the time.
Yeah, I got a question for you in the chat. How long do you think before Steve Nash? How long do you think Steve Nash is going to last?
Man, that's a great question. I think if they don't play well, I give him by mid-season he'll be gone. If they don't play well because it's too much expectations, too much money spent. I mean, didn't they go over the luxury to re-sign what's the kid? Joe Harris? Not the
Joe Harris.
Yeah, they went over the luxury to re-sign him. So it's a lot of money that's been spent in Brooklyn, and they expecting results. So which is crazy to me why they took a coach that never coached before. That was set up for failure.
But at the same time, when you have the comments that Kyrie and KD made, where
they're running the franchise,
what established coach would want to take that gig?
Yeah, because they're running the franchise.
Yeah. And they saw what he did to Kenny Atkinson too.
Kenny Atkinson should have still been the coach, and D'Angelo Russell. If KD was smart and he wanted to go there, he should have went there with Russell. Yeah, at least you can depend on Russell being available. Like they always say in sports, the best ability is availability, and if you ain't available, you have no ability.
One of our loyal guys in the chat, our future gaming, he's predicting one season. I'm looking at the first slump. The slump. I don't know whether Nash is going to say I'm going to put up with this bullshit. I had a good life. Let me get the hell out. This wasn't the right move.
If they don't get rid of him by mid-season, it definitely would be at the end of the season. They'll be bringing in somebody else. That's probably why they slid D'Antoni in there.
Yep.
I think he'll last the season. Maybe. I mean, because there's talent in Brooklyn.
Oh yeah,
they have talent. Even if they had a Kyrie miss some games, Dinwiddie can slide in, and it's not going to be that big of a drop off.
But Kyrie never misses some games; he misses a lot of games.
Actually, one can make the argument that they'd be better with Dinwiddie on the floor than Kyrie. He shares the ball.
A drop off, but Dinwiddie still could be a starter on a lot of teams.
On all other teams. I mean, any team in the league, he could be a starter.
So it's not like, if Kyrie misses games, the team is going to go on this free fall. They'll still be good. It's, can he keep the egos in line? Like, Steve Nash's job is to be Kyrie and Kevin Durant's friend.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, it's okay. We all know the media's out to get you. It's all right. Just, keep your head up. And that's really what Steve Nash is there for. The X's and O's are going to come from D'Antoni. How they want to play. But Kevin and Kyrie, they need a friend to be their head coach. They need someone that's not going to be like, Kyrie's going to, you're not going to tell me what to do. That's why he could have Phil Jackson in his prime as his coach, and he would still be.
And that's why I don't care for Kyrie. Exactly. In my book, my opinion, he's uncoachable. When you make a statement that you don't need a coach, that tells me all I need to know about you as a player. You're uncoachable. You're uncoachable.
And when you have a nucleus of young kids like he had in Boston, and just his attitude he was divisive and everything, and got the hell out of there. But if you're at his stage of his career and his thing, who would want to walk away from having a Tatum? Oh my God, that Jaylen Brown.
He's an ego case, man.
Let me shut up to somebody on the. I don't know who End of Times or here is, but God of Moses serves a purpose yesterday. Yes, he served a purpose yesterday. You always need that antagonist,
and he is one.
And that's what God of Moses was. Like, what makes a good sitcom is having an antagonist, and
and man, he's getting an Academy Award.
He's doing a great job.
So he brought that yesterday. So he wasn't the worst part of the podcast yesterday. If anything, he got the drink stirring yesterday.
He sure did.
Yeah, we have much love for God of Moses. Everybody
got an opportunity to get it from him. He wouldn't hold it back, and that's why I got to give him a lot of love, man. Because one thing I can tell about him is he's a loyal dude. You know what I mean? He ain't one of these bandwagon Knicks fans, or you know what I mean, where they following a player to a team, and then when that player leave, oh, that ain't my team no more. That ain't him. I don't feel that with him at all.
Yeah, and just a quick shout out for Triborough, man. Always your loyalty and everything. You're the best, man.
But like I said, I think the East is going to be better. But I think we'll be one of those teams that's, like I said, we'll surprise and sneak up on people. I really can't wait, because the Indiana game will be a good litmus test.
We got them what game? Second, third game?
First
game? Oh, we got Indiana first game. I don't know why I was thinking about Detroit.
We got Detroit the first preseason game. But I'm not really holding that much stock into the preseason, because to me the preseason is still going to be like Tibbs trying to find out who plays well with each other.
But you know what, though, Kev, I kind of going to hold stock in the preseason this year because it's shorter. So your team is more pressed to make sure they got things in line from the word go. You can't be playing around this year with hoping, okay, I got time in preseason to get these guys right. I mean, it's a short preseason, so every game is like.
I agree, and like I said, because this is Tibbs, because we have a lot of new players, and we haven't. I don't think Tibbs has a lineup down. I think he's going to use his preseason as to say who's going to play well with each other.
Bless you.
Thank you. To sit here and say, okay, I like this player with this player, so let me tweak this here. So the first game, we'll see different rotations than we will the last game against Cleveland.
Oh, yeah.
It's all about Tibbs. The preseason is about Tibbs kind of getting these rotations set.
I agree.
As he said, there'll be players who, people get injured, so you'll have players you might not play like the first. You might get garbage time the first 10, 15 games, and then, somebody might get a hamstring, miss a game, and then you might be playing 30 minutes next night after been playing garbage minutes the first 15 games. And that's like I said earlier, somebody's not going to get a lot of playing time.
Oh yeah, it is. This year is because every game is magnified because of a shortened season. You can't afford to be playing around. You got to have things set early. I know one thing we ain't gonna have to worry about: no 15 different lineups.
No,
like last year.
I do think the starting lineup that Tibbs rolls out against Indiana, at least for the first 10, 15 games, that's going to be the starting lineup for every single game.
I think so.
Well, I think because of the crazy schedule and load management, we may see a little break, but I agree with you.
Yeah, I think that starting rotation going to be pretty much set. And if we can blow some teams out early in the games, you're gonna see them starters resting real quick.
It's like, let's see. So our first game is against Indiana,
which we can conceivably win. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a tough one though.
Today
we can win that.
It's 2:39 on December 12th, and I'm going to sit here and say we're going to start the season out 1-0 because I think we're going to beat Indiana. And this is live. We can play this back, and it's the evidence.
And that ain't far fetched, man. Hey, what they always tell you, if you can play defense, man, it's like a boxer. You got a puncher's chance.
Indiana is just one of those teams. Like I just don't know what to make of them because they got talent on the team. You know, their starting five is pretty decent.
Absolutely.
I think they're gonna take a step back losing Nate McMillan though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about what's his name.
That continuity for how long was he there? How long was he in Indiana?
How
many seasons?
4 or 5 years, maybe.
So they going through the same thing we going through. New system, new coach.
Yeah, I think
the only advantage they got is their players been together a little bit longer.
Yeah, Dave Bajorkin, I think.
And whether Oladipo could ever recapture his,
and that's a big if.
That is a big if, especially from that type of injury.
Quad injury. He had a quad injury.
Yeah.
The matchup I'm looking at is Kevin Knox against TJ Warren. That's the matchup I want to see the most.
I don't know about that. TJ went crazy in the bubble. I think he's going to light up Kevin, boy.
And he's very physical. That's what I want to see because if Kevin Knox is going to play any defense, him going up against TJ Warren would be the test.
Yeah, and TJ Warren is physical too. So that's going to really see how strong Kevin has gotten over the offseason, mentally and physically.
Because his first 3 games will probably be if Kevin Knox is the starter, his first 3 games are probably be against TJ Warren. Philadelphia's technically, I guess you would have Ben Simmons listed as 3. So TJ Warren, Ben Simmons, and Chris Middleton will be Kevin Knox's first 3 matchups.
And I'm gonna tell you what else, Kev. I'm gonna go on record and say this: don't sleep if we knock out Philly that first game. And I hear people saying, "Well, Joel Embiid, Mitch can't handle him." Do we remember what Joel Embiid had to say about Mitch? Like he said, he was all over the place. He was like, "Who's this kid blocking everything?" He had a problem with Mitch. And we know as great as Joel Embiid can be in the post, he really don't like to go in the post.
Yeah, he don't want to bang.
He loved to shoot jump shots. He'll fall in love with that jump shot. So if he played right the way he's normally been playing, I think we can take that game too.
And here's
because Ben Simmons couldn't shoot to save his life, even if you gave him a shotgun with buckshot.
Here's the funny thing: Kevin Knox. If Kevin Knox could play 82 games against Milwaukee, he would be like a superstar. Because Kevin Knox averages like 20 points against Milwaukee.
I know, man. For some reason, every team.
It is weird. Why for some reason he always goes off on Milwaukee? But I wish he could play Milwaukee literally like every game.
Yeah. I wish we were lucked out and got TJ Warren, man. They stole that guy. They got him for nothing.
I mean,
we stole somebody this year called Obi Toppin, so a lot of people going to be saying that about us.
Yeah.
That was a steal.
TJ Warren, he had some of that Sprewell dog in him, man. I
was looking at what's the kid Latrell's. I subscribed to his channel yesterday. Y'all in chat, man. Support Latrell, man. Sprewell, the American Dream. I mean, he got some good video, good content, man. I was looking at his videos, and I'm telling you, just looking at Sprewell, man, I was just like, hot dog. Why we ain't had something like that walk through the door since he left?
Yeah,
I mean, we hadn't had a player like that. Well, the closest thing, but he just was small, was Nate Robinson. Nate Robinson had that dog in him and would go to the rack on you, but he just was a small dude.
Yeah, and can't take a right hand.
Poor Nate.
Yeah, I feel bad for him. Hey,
somebody get the bucket of water.
End Times are here. Asked us from the chat if we can discuss Harden's situation a little.
Well, I can tell you like this. I almost did a video on Harden. When I heard the reports where he trying to liken Houston to us. Don't put us in that mess what you got going on, man. They ain't got nothing to do with us. That's your mess over there, and I wouldn't want no parts of him. I'm telling you that right now. I wouldn't want him, not because it's gonna take a lot to get him, but I don't like his chemistry with players.
Yeah,
How
he's a
you run
champion.
everybody out of town? That's played with you.
Yeah.
That's all stars. How you run them out of town?
This
I mean,
is
you
how-
ran Melo out of town, and then you try to be sneaky with it, like you didn't think that was gonna come out. You run Chris Paul out of town. And then you run Russell Westbrook out of town. So I don't want no parts of no dude like that. And then what he's doing right now, I mean, you not even being a part of your team. You're still under contract. You're a professional. They got you under contract for 3 years. If you don't want to play for them, you show up, be a professional, and then let them trade you. But you don't be partying and hanging out. Man,
Hey,
I don't even
fellas, let me
that
ask you
dude.
this. In your lifetime, did you ever think that you'd see a player turn down a $50 million per year contract?
No way.
I
No
know.
way.
I was scratching my head, and I still am lucky I have hair on my head. That is
That's it.
crazy.
To me, I mean, obviously Harden looks bad in this because Houston has given you everything you possibly wanted
Give you the keys
since
to
you
the building.
walked, since you got off the plane in Houston. They have built this team. We all knew in Oklahoma City James Harden was good, but Houston gave you this platform to be James Harden, one of the best players in the NBA.
Yeah.
Houston has tried to do their best to surround you. Other than I don't know who said this. Other than LeBron James, no team has appeased a player as much as Houston has tried to appease James Harden. They have given you all-star, superstar players to play with. You wanted your buddy to come in last year. They did that.
Yeah.
The
So I ain't even trying to hear nothing he got to say.
the failures of Houston in the playoffs can be directly tied to James Harden.
Not showing up in big games. The same thing he did in OKC.
Exactly. You can't be a superstar and not show up when it's most important.
And that's the trash we would want to come to New York, man. You think he fold in Houston? Man, that dude will fold like a wet food stamps in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, he'd be having lunch every day with Kyrie and KD, even though
he'll be asking to be traded. It'll be the first time that you hear a player come to New York City in year one and want to get traded.
It's so hard because we all get on Melo talking about the ISO ball is dead, but James Harden is proving it's really not.
But it's not, Kev, because of this one fact. When you're in the playoffs for all the marbles, you got to get that shot. Who you looking at? I'm looking at that man that can take his man one-on-one and get me that basket, that go-getter. That's James Harden. That's Melo. As much as I wouldn't want James Harden, I still recognize his skill set. You know what I mean? Same thing with Melo. People can talk about Melo all they want. But more often than not, in big game situation, man, I'll take Melo. He made some big shots for Portland this past year. And people acting like Melo forgot how to play basketball. I couldn't believe it.
Now, shooters never learn. He's a great shooter. Like I said, my personal opinion on Melo is that he's a great shooter. Not necessarily a great player in my book.
And you know what else? He's not going to tear up your locker room neither.
I don't know about that.
He didn't tear up the Knicks locker room.
Well, at that stage of his career, at least.
He had grown up.
Yeah,
he had grown up.
The thing with Harden was it's Houston tried to do it the way Daryl Morey and D'Antoni wanted it, putting the ball in James Harden's hand and going small ball and surrounding him with just shooters. And unfortunately, it just didn't work. And I mean, the proof is in the pudding. It didn't work.
I agree.
So, yeah, I think the biggest thing is, I wasn't involved. I think a lot of times, especially since LeBron's kind of blown up, a lot of these players want to be the players and the coach and the GM. And sometimes I want to say, like, you know what? How about you stay in your lane and kind of just play? And we'll do our best to fit the team the way we feel like, is best constructed.
That's why you got a coach, because he's going to see things that you don't see.
And so when Harden crossed over, I wanted Tyronn Lue, and we didn't go out and get Tyronn Lue. I don't know who this Steven Silas is, but I heard he comes highly recommended. He's been on the was it Dallas? Did he come
And
from
his
Dallas?
dad was a coach.
Good lineage.
Yeah, his dad was a coach.
And so it's like, okay, let's see what this guy can do. They did some weird stuff with their roster. They gave Christian Wood a lot of money, and he only had like half a good season. So I guess they're trying to see if he can build off of that. They took a gamble by bringing in Boogie Cousins. If he can get back to 60% of what Boogie Cousins was in where was he at?
Cousins?
Yeah.
He's in Houston now with his buddy.
No. When he was Boogie Cousins.
Oh, the Pelicans?
No.
Who Boogie Cousins?
Sacramento.
Oh,
If you get back to 60% of Sacramento Boogie Cousins, they might have something.
I'm gonna tell you what. Did you see his presser the other day?
Boogie Cousins?
Man, when I tell you, I was just sitting there. I was like, wow.
He's learned
the level of maturity that guy has now, and even how he looked physically. He wasn't carrying none of that fat, that baby fat that he was walking around with. None of that. I mean, he looks slender. It's like Slim Mellow. That's what Boogie Cousins look like.
Well, he's been on the humble pie diet for a few years.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of injuries that he
2 years in a row
has taken, I think, has set his perspective as in, this game might pass me by. This game doesn't need me.
Oh, yeah.
So let me humble myself. And the fact that, he was in Golden State and was around those champions and saw how they went about their business.
Mm-hmm.
I think that also might have had, and because you can't take that for granted, being in a championship locker room and seeing how they go about their business.
Yeah. Hey, got a question from Teddy, our brother. But 1 second, it's almost 3:00 in the morning. We have 130 people in the chat. We're, speaking for Freezy, man, we're incredibly blessed. And it's greatly appreciated. 101 again, the greatest mods in the world, Bodega and Sima. 101 likes if you can. Anyone that hasn't done it yet, please hit that. Please hit the subscribe. Please hit that reminder bell so you don't miss any of the great content from Freezy and both at night and don't forget the morning, man. Love that.
We miss you, Freezy, man.
We miss you. We miss you, man. But Teddy's asked, can we talk about?
Oh my goodness! Hey, Freezy, I'm gonna tell you like how they say out here in South Carolina, man. When we call somebody's name and they pop up, you know what we say? Boy, you gonna live long.
You gonna live a long time, boss.
How are you?
Shout out, man. Good to see you.
Yeah, man. Good to see y'all, man. It's good to see y'all, man. I was out there in the cold, machine broke down. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's been a long night, man. But I heard y'all talking about us maybe beating the Indiana Pacers.
Yeah.
I know who brought that. I know who brought that topic up. Hey, Kevin think Knox is gonna give TJ Warren the business.
Hey, listen. Like I said, that game will show me what Knox has been working on this entire time.
True.
Because if Knox can go out there and hold his own against TJ Warren, then that will give me more hope than anything else. Because TJ Warren is a legit, I don't call him an all-star, but if he builds off of what he was doing in the bubble, TJ Warren is a top 10 small forward in this league. Okay. I'm not going to say top 5.
I agree.
He's a top 10 small forward. And so if Kevin Knox can go out there and limit him and still get off, that's going to show me a lot. That'll show me more than what I need to know from Kevin Knox. If he can go out there and hold his own against TJ Warren.
Right.
Hey, Freezy, y'all, I got to say this because this is the first time I actually got a chance to look at this shirt on camera. Shout out to my wife, man. She went and bought these shirts for me, man. So you know the missus
Really?
buy him, you gotta weigh him, man. So
Yeah. Hey, that's dope.
yeah, she
How long
went
you
to
married, Ron?
15, man, 15 years.
Wow. Want to hear something crazy?
What's that?
This year I'm celebrating my 40th wedding anniversary. Obviously,
Wow.
she took advantage of me at a very young age.
And congratulations
Yeah.
to the missus, man. Hey, you
I'm
find
very
your
blessed.
wife, you find you a good thing, boy.
Yeah, I'm very blessed.
Man.
But my parents
Hey,
are married
Ron,
72 years,
how
so I
can
got
we-
a lot to catch up on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Steve.
No, I just said my parents married 72 years, so I have a lot to catch up on.
Oh yeah, congrats, man. That's a long time
Wow.
to be with somebody, man.
Wow,
Congratulations.
man.
Yeah. Hey, Freezy, I got a favor to ask. I know how much it warms my heart. Could you do some of your world famous shout outs of the chat?
Yeah.
People look forward to that.
Hey, so I was just warming up. I wanted to jump in, but I didn't want to talk over nobody. But since you insist, shout out to my main man, Stephen Fox in the building.
Oh, I don't care about me. I care about the guy in the chat.
Ron Cleveland, the co-pilot, was good. Andy Ann, I see you. Andy's halfway around the world. Was good, Andy. My half brother from another mother, the Triborough Gigolo. What's good? My mods, or our mods, Bodega Wi-Fi and Simmer Singh. What's good? Alex Jorge, I see you. I see you. William, what's good? Yo, I see somebody new. Irfan Kasha, are you new? If Irfan Kasha, if you new, hey, put a thumbs up in the chat so we can recognize you. Hey, K Gun Guarded G, what's good? David Jackson, I see you. And Teddy is in the virtual chat. Teddy, I see you. What's good? The Triborough Gigolo never sleeps. What's good? What's good? What's good? All Future Gaming, what's good? What's good? David Jackson, I see you. What's good? I was watching the chat and I saw David Jackson in there. And I was like, yo, David Jackson is getting it in. Oh, who let the troublemaker in the building? JJP. I see you, JJP. You probably cooking. JJP probably cooking right now. I see you. So Irfan Conscious says that he's new. Yo, hey, thumbs up. Hey, we see you, man. Thanks for coming through. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, but also make sure you come back because we want you to hang out with us. We want you to hang out with us. Ismail is in the building. What's good? Finesse, what's good? I see you. Yo.
Can your brother talk to you? Can I say something?
If you about to start talking about Frank Ntilikina, I'm gonna go eat me a hand.
Nope.
We ain't talking about Frank tonight like that. Ain't been no Frank talk tonight.
Hey, look. Only thing I'm gonna say to you is this. Hey, I was talking to the chat a lot tonight. I said that, look, in every hour, we need to speak to the chat for 10 minutes. Let them ask questions to the panel, but we had to bring that to you first. Look, we can speak 50 minutes on what we doing, but in that last 10, the chat speak to us and we have to answer questions. What you think about that?
Hey, I think all of us are here. Excuse me, all of us are here together. The video chat and the virtual chat are all here together. So if they love it, they want that. If you would have looked at what they was going on with that, they said Rob the Knick was looking out for us. Yeah,
they want to talk.
Yeah,
it's up to you.
And they want to be heard. That's the reason why they're here. That's the reason why. That's the reason why they stand on.
Absolutely. We speak 50. They got 10 minutes to ask every question to the panel. Is that okay with you?
Hey man, I just want them to be heard. That's why they're here.
That's the reason why
we got 550 subs in 28 days. In 28 days, we got 550 subs. That's the reason why. Because they want to be heard.
That's powerful, Freezy. And Rob brought up a good point too, man, about like our comments. You know, if we can limit them things to about a minute. You know, because it's some comments is long. They are long. You know what I mean?
Right.
That way everybody can get an opportunity to comment. Because sometimes I'm telling you, when Steve tonight when you was asking questions, man, honestly, I have forgot some of them.
Sorry
And
about
remember,
that.
I had to keep asking you. I was like, could you say that again? It's because those
Right,
comments was being real long. So I think that was a good catch on your part too, Rob, man.
45
That way
look,
everybody get involved.
Freezy,
Quicker.
Freezy. Like,
Yo,
if a
yo,
question is asked by Steven, hey, look, we got 45 seconds to answer the question, then pass it along to the next guy.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't handle that, we stay so long-winded because we passionate. And you know that. We will go long. It's all of us.
Right.
It's
You're right.
not for one
Right.
guy. We will go long. But if we got that
Right.
time, it's a live 15, it's a 3 hour 15 minutes, 18 seconds. We all see that. My question and answer should not go past 2 minutes.
Shouldn't be a 5 minute.
I'm showing respect to everybody.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hey, this forum is our forum. We take as long
That's
as
why
long as
we
we
asking
need, as long as
you.
we're respectful. The thing about it, but the thing about it though is this: as long as everybody respectful and making sense, it don't matter. Like for instance, if Stephen Fox got something to say, right, and I'm here, I'm gonna wait until Stephen Fox finish. I don't care if it's 30 seconds or 3 minutes. I'm gonna let my man rock. And the reason why I say that is because other channels cut y'all off. I saw it with my own eyes. I saw Ryan Cleveland get cut off on another thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I feel like he was ready to go in on Ellen Hahn, but since he got to be limited, you know what I'm saying? My man got cut off.
Yeah,
but
I had a lot to give him.
This is the Knicks at Night podcast. Yeah, this is the Knicks at Night podcast, man. Y'all, what I'm saying is this is everybody platform.
But I like the idea to chat with those questions. I would like to speak because they be having some good questions. I be sitting over there looking at their questions.
It's still good.
They be having some good questions. And I give them shout out to the chat.
We get 45 minutes, and then we get the chat 15 minutes to ask us questions. Is that good?
Rob, what if the chat asks you a good question? What if the chat asks you a good question? You gonna wait 45 minutes to get to it?
I get my 30 seconds. I gotta pass it around to my brothers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Every just man, here's the thing. It's organic, just like standing in the yard. You know how the family reunion? You know what I'm saying? Like it's like the family reunion, standing in the yard.
You know, Ishmael brought up a good point too. I'm reading his response. He says, "How about you guys ask us questions and we answer, laugh out loud."
Right. But that's what I do in the mornings on the Knicks morning drive. That's what I do in the morning. Like I legit ask a question, like, "Hey, chat, what y'all think?" And then we go back and forth and kind of go back and forth like that.
I gotta give you credit, man. 8 o'clock, man. I'm still sleeping.
Hey, man. Hey, guess what? Hey, guess what I'm doing at 8 o'clock? I'm watching Man. It's Knicks time on my phone. You know?
You serious, man?
Yeah.
And man, Freezy.
So when you gonna allow us to bum rush your channel? That's the better question.
Hey,
when you gonna let 100 people come on your channel and bum rush?
You mean do a live?
Yeah.
To do a live? I was thinking about that today. I was like, when am I going to start doing a live? I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, everybody got so much material out here. I don't want to be in nobody else's time. You know, just want to respect everybody else's space. But I got to find a time when to do it. But I've been thinking about that. But what I've done now, you know, the missus gonna give you input on how to do stuff. And she told me, she said, you know what? She said, think about this. She said, I know you can talk. I know you know what you're doing. I know you know. But how about ask questions, solicit questions when you do your videos? You know, and then make a video off what people say. I said, you know what? That's a good idea. You know, because nobody want to hear somebody just, you know, and nobody want to hear that. And so, but that Freezer, hey, I got some ideas, man. Like because my son's an athlete. He played football, like I told y'all, for Air Force. Matter of fact, my son was about to get drafted 2 years ago. He tore his ACL in his last year of college. And prior to that, he had like 16 teams looking at him. And he tore that thing. Matter of fact, 2 days before my birthday, and he was going to get drafted. The Saints was one of the teams that was going to pick him up. But when he left Air Force, he was third all time for wide receivers. He ran a 4.4 in the 40. Matter of fact, when they played Michigan a few years ago, he was the one who caught the long touchdown against Michigan. But he was
Okay.
he was
Okay,
like
I see you.
like Percy Harvin. That's how they used him. But anyway, I say that to say this. He I got me and him got something in the works where it's gonna be a father-son, a little video where I'm gonna interview him from the perspective of an athlete. I'm gonna be like, tell me what you think about the Knicks. And if he go say the wrong thing, I'm gonna get him. So I'm gonna get him.
Right.
But yeah, I've been thinking about some things, but yeah, that live, because that really allows me to really get in my element like this. When somebody asks a question, like I can really just, without having to just sit there and be thinking of stuff they put on the video.
Right.
Yeah, the chat's asking.
Hey, I'm sorry. Go ahead, man.
No, just they're saying that maybe in the future you can get a call and that will add to interaction.
Okay. We'll see about that. I was figuring though, this format right here is fire. If y'all hear what the other Knicks content creators say about the Knicks at Night podcast and the Knicks Morning Drive, y'all will blush. Like I legit get DMs and stuff from like other guys, and they legit love it. You know what I'm saying? Like this format. I think one of the other Knicks, matter of fact, one of the other Knicks content creators today shouted us out. Was like, yo, I just turned on the TV, I got on YouTube, and they was there. I saw Ryan Cleveland and some other guys that was familiar, and they was going in, and I loved it. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't even here. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't even there. It was just y'all getting y'all shine on, getting y'all grind on. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I appreciate. Yeah, hey man, listen, we trying to lift the profile of everybody. This ain't just about me. You know what I'm saying? I keep saying, and matter of fact, let me do my if y'all watching this right now, man, and y'all hadn't subscribed to the channel, smash that like button. Because there's people out there that's looking for legit Knicks content just like this and can't find it. But if you like this video and subscribe to the channel, it helps us improve in that YouTube algorithm where the people that we're looking for can find us. It's like the dating game. Like we looking for them and they looking for us, and something's gonna bring us together. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? Because the conversation is more robust when more people are involved, right? You just don't want to have like a one-sided conversation. That's called a monologue. You don't want that. You know what I'm saying? What you want is a conversation of with people with diverse backgrounds, bring in legit points of view, you know what I'm saying, to the conversation so that it'll expand the way that you think about the Knicks. I love the Knicks, but I love to hear other people talk about the Knicks too, which makes me love the Knicks even more because I feel like I'm passionate. But when you see somebody who's totally different from you and they're passionate too, that just makes the whole thing, how you feel about the team, just that more robust and fun. So smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. But I wanted to also do something for my man. I'm gonna put Ron Cleveland's channel in the chat, and I want y'all to check out my man's stuff because my man put in good work. He developed a reputation. He developed a reputation for putting out good content by going on other people's joints. Man, I'm gonna spam my own joint here with Ron's stuff so y'all can go check out all his videos. And listen what my man got to say. But Ron, the question I have for you is, where can we get man t-shirts?
Don't worry, that I'm working on that as we speak, man. Hey, y'all gonna laugh in the chat, man. My 12-year-old daughter, y'all might take it seriously though. Seriously, my 12-year-old daughter actually did everything. Like she did my music, she did my logo. I just told her an idea of what I wanted, and she's very artistic, man. I'm telling you. She got what I wish I had. I wish I was able to draw. She can draw, so I told her, I said, I'm going to allow you to, to design the T-shirts, and that'll be when I get up and running. I'll let you know. It'll be pretty soon because me and her's going to work on that tomorrow. Actually,
hey, we want to be the first ones to rock it. We don't want to be after Casey now.
Hey, Freezy, for all you done for me, man, for all y'all fellas, man. Hey, trust me. Hey, y'all gonna be the first one to get it, and everybody on the panel gonna get a free one. Everybody
Hey,
on the
man.
panel gonna get a free one.
Hey, bro, we really appreciate the love. Let me
Ain't
shout
nothing like
out.
that orange and blue, man. That orange and blue
Yeah,
ain't nothing
man.
like it.
Yeah, man. The quality. I heard. So I was headed to the restroom, ironically, and I heard Kev voice booming through the thing. I was like, "Yo, my man is perfect for this."
Yeah, he
My
is.
man
He
was
is now.
perfect for that. And Stephen, hey, Steve, man, you have no idea how grateful we are for you to be being the orchestrator. You know what I'm saying? The conductor. You know what I'm saying? Every time, I'm not big on giving somebody nicknames and all that stuff. I like to respect the person, but when I see you on the panel, all I see is like Steven doing this right here, just conducting. You know what I'm saying? That's so dope in my eye. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate the channel,
you guys.
And he's very professional. Some James Harden can learn.
Hey, well, that's true too. Hey, so Ron, when you want us to come on the channel, because we want to come on the channel, but not just come on the channel, man. I want to push it on Twitter and do a video like, yo, Uncle Freezy hanging out with Ron Cleveland. You know, put it out there so it'll be a big event.
I'll let you know. I'm gonna have to think. And my mind just been going. Like I said, man, this thing has been moving so fast. And now I see what you was talking about. Cause like I haven't been up like 2 weeks good, you know, and to see what this thing's doing, it's just moving so fast. Like I got to really like gather my thoughts, man. So it's a lot that I've been thinking about. My wife been telling me, she said, "Hey, you need to just concentrate on one thing at a time." Hey, that's easy for you to say.
Man.
I just want to say, this is so I've literally been doing this for about a week. Literally, when I did the Knicks Win and Drive with Freezy, that was my first time like ever doing a podcast, and I'm just
get out of here.
Hey,
you got right, man.
That is, I promise you. That was my first time, and I'm just a fan. I've been a fan of the Knicks since I was 5 years old.
Man.
And that was going on 30 years now. So,
Rob, we can't hear you.
Stephen Fox would know this for a fact that so I've been watching, NBK and all these other podcasts for a while. And I'm usually kind of active in the chats. And so I was literally like biting at the chops to get at Guillermo for a long time, and Steven can point, because he told me, he was like, be careful what you wish for, and I was like, you know what, Guillermo's a fan just like me. Like, we're all fans of the Knicks, and I look at it as we all love this team, and we all might have opinions that's different, but we all want the same thing. We all want to see our team win, to see our team be successful, to see our players be successful.
Well said.
And to bring that chip back to Madison Square Garden.
Right.
I am 34. I'll be 35 years old next month. I have never in my lifetime seen a New York Knicks championship. One of the most heartbreaking moments for me as an 8-year-old kid sitting on that floor watching the Houston Rockets celebrate.
Don't remind me.
Yeah.
That was one of the saddest moments of my life. And I remember that, being 8 on the living room floor watching every game of that series, thinking we had it.
Right.
When that ball got tipped by Olajuwon in Game 6, I was
dog it.
I just knew we had it then. But but I'm just, like I said, I'm very appreciative of the opportunity that that Freezy gave me for allowing me to be on here, and all I can do is just give my opinion. I appreciate
I can tell you what is well thought out. I can tell you this: it ain't something that you just pulling out of the air. I mean, you can give good sound reasoning, and you can't do nothing but respect it. Even Guillermo, sometimes, hey, he can get my pressure boiling, but hey, at the end of the day, I know it's coming from a good place, and he gonna give you different perspectives. That's the beautiful thing about this whole. Even God of Moses, everybody got an angle, and when it come together, man, it's like a pot of gumbo. You heard me?
So the funny thing is, I was looking, this past week, last 5 shows, we averaging like 2,000. Now a lot, like I said, this is the only podcast that I do, but 2,000 views a show to me is like, we must be doing something.
Man, that's 10,000 in 5 days.
Yeah,
that's sick.
Right. Hey, and so what's even more sick than that? The two things. So when people search YouTube for Knicks content, they search the New York Knicks first, right? The New York Knicks get 50% of that share, and they deserve it. I mean, they're a franchise. But guess who's second?
Knicks at Night.
The Knicks at Night podcast featuring y'all. So people are looking for y'all. They looking for Stephen Fox. They looking for they looking for everybody. You know what I'm saying? They look legit are looking for us. And I was gonna show you. I wish there was a way that I can prove it without.
I believe you. The analytics is real. Analytics are real.
Yeah. The thing is with the analytics, man, I wish I could show you because there are other Knicks content creators on that list, but they're behind us. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to be disrespectful to them. You know what I'm saying? Because at one point they were the alpha dogs. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But part of that has to do with their subscriptions being way high, and part of it has to do with the Knicks at Night podcast just being something different. You know what I'm saying? So you may not have to search for other Knicks content creators if you subscribe, but at the same time, to have a lion's share, so to speak, of the searches on YouTube is crazy. I mean, it's crazy, man. Because when I first saw it, I didn't think it was real. So I looked at it a couple of times from a couple of different angles, and we there. Not only do they search for this, but they also search for Lawrence Tears, which lets me know that they're legit searching for this program here, the Knicks at Night podcast. So and the other thing I found out too, another show tried to rip our name off. Knickish at Night on Sportscaster. So that they say
imitation is the greatest form of flattery.
Yeah. So somebody else they just legit jumped out there like something and Knickish at Night. You know what I'm saying? And so what I'm assuming is the people that saw it was like, hey, that don't look like Ron Cleveland, Uncle Freezy. What is that?
Did you say Nick shit at night? Because I believe that's what they're doing versus us.
But that analytic stuff is real or Freezy. I tell you, I was looking at it on some of my stuff, and I was like, it was wild to me that I was like, the vast majority of people that are looking at my videos aren't even subscribers. Like I'm looking at 72%. I'm like, that's really that wowed me. I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah. Hey, Andy N said Knickish is also NBK fam. I think so.
Oh yeah.
But they can't be. But Andy, you know what? Though, man, when people are, you have to respect people's work. And you know what I'm saying? You have to respect. Yeah. You have to respect people's stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that was intentional or not or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I looked on Sportscaster and saw it, and I felt like it was a slight to us because for 30, I think it's 31 days we've been at this right here trying to get this thing to where Knicks fans can legit have their say heard. And
so my question,
to me,
Freezy, I got a question. Didn't mean to cut you off, but so their time slot is they're trying to be on near the same time too that we're on.
Yep, same. Yep.
Oh man, that's suspect.
And
walk like a quack like a duck, it ain't a mongoose like Stephen A. Smith would say.
Yeah, and they were probably created before me, but when I search for names and all that stuff, I legit search for Knicks at Night. And so our only thing I saw was one on Instagram, and it was like something. And so yeah, I just feel like, man, it's we all listen, this thing right here is too good for us to be bumped off because it's something new and different. So I mean, if they were doing something before or whatever, and they had a name. I didn't see it. I searched for it for a couple of days. You know what I'm saying? I
Really, I
mean,
tell you, you got me thinking now, man, at a time slot where we could hook up. Cause you come on at 11:45.
right.
You just gonna have to shoot me your schedule. I'll
Hey, man,
send you.
what
Hey, the next thing is Knicks at noon.
and I'll be on it. And I'll be on it.
Knicks at noon. I'm just trying to think, man.
Yeah,
what
man.
would be a good time for you? Because I mean, I'm available, man. I'm home every day.
What I was gonna say, man, is whatever it is that we need to do to help your channel grow, we'll do that.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Appreciate
saying?
you,
Like
really do.
Hey, I'm not, one that is all about trying to become a millionaire from YouTube. My main thing is I wanted to give the Knicks fans something a little different from what they had been getting. Because some channels do videos, some channels do live call-in where you only get 10 seconds to talk. Some channels, so everybody is different. So my thing is what about open forum, Jerry Springer style? You know what I'm saying? What if we just had an open concept? I'm
gonna tell you, that's what made me like. I stopped watching, and I used to love First Take, man. My wife would tell you, I love First Take. I used to love Undisputed, and Undisputed really because of Shannon Sharp, and the other show because of Stephen A. Smith, man. But what I've come to learn about them shows, man, is not only the biasness, it's just like they really just like focus on the same two teams all the time, talking about the Dallas Cowboys. And I mean, there's so many other fan bases. These are the only teams that y'all keep talking about. And I'm like, I don't want to hear that, man. So I don't even listen to them no more.
Hey, so what I would suggest is this, man. Find a slot in the day that you feel comfortable with personally. Whatever time slot you feel comfortable with personally, you know what I'm saying, based on your personal schedule, just try to do something in that time slot. And then what we'll do is we'll rush this up. We like bumblebees. We're gonna come protect the hive. You know what I'm saying? We'll come.
I tell you what, Friday, I'll do my first one Friday. See, do I have anything going on Friday? No, Friday's clear. I tell you what, 4:30 Friday, I'll do my first live.
PM or AM? You talking about PM? You talking about
4:30 PM. 4:30 PM.
Okay.
On Friday.
Hey, I'm coming.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and set my reminder. I'll do my first one.
Hey, so I gotta get out of here, y'all. So I can I gotta go back. I'm at lunch. What I was gonna do is just wrap right here. Everybody, just I guess we'll be good rapping here. We just say subscribe to the channel, smash that like button. Appreciate the chat. It's how many people? It's 127 people in the chat, and it's 3:22 in the morning East Coast time. That's crazy. That's bananas. So that is bananas. So hey Ron, what we'll do is I think I got to do this. This dude is hurt. So I may be stuck. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, what we'll do is when you set your time, as soon as you set the time, as soon as you put your thing out there on YouTube, get your thumbnail, get you a good thumbnail. Set your time and let everybody know. I'm gonna get with the with Guillermo and everybody else. And then what we'll do is, we're gonna push it so we can guide people your way, then that way the show will be dope.
All right, so you think 4:30 Friday will work for you, or you need it? Or I could do Saturday at 4:30. Okay, Friday 4:30. We make that official.
We can do both.
Okay.
You can do both. Friday
4:30
and Saturday.
Friday, 4:30 Saturday. Yeah, that'll work.
Yep.
Friday and Saturday.
Yeah. So I got to get out of here, man. But hey, thank everybody for coming through. I'm gonna be on. Remember, Knicks Morning Drive will be up in about 5 hours. I don't even know what I'm going to talk about. I did the thumbnail, but I forgot because I'm at work. But once I get back to it, it'll come back to me. But I appreciate everybody for coming through, man. I love the chat. Chat, don't think we forgot the virtual chat. Don't think we forgot about you. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out Delano.
Yeah, Blue Diamond Gem in the building. Young Simba, aka Sour God. Hey, yo, I'm out of here, y'all. Thanks for holding it down. I'm gonna just go ahead and kill it right here, y'all. Okay.
Yeah, man. Hey,
God
y'all
bless
have a good sleep tight. Don't let God or Moses bite.
All
As
right,
long as Julius Randle gonna come up.
You
All
guys
right,
are
fellas.
the
Hey,
best,
shout out
man.
to the chat, man. Y'all be good.
You're the best.